Might need to take the cover off. Shalom, shalom. Let me know how the audio sounds. All right, perfect. The water. All right, cool. Good. All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rachak Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And we are here once again. We're going to go right into it. As I titled it, This World Does Not Stand a Chance. And I was watching the Kim Iverson show earlier today, and she had Professor Jang, aka Balaam, on there, you know, and it was about maybe about an hour long or so, and you know, she was just asking him questions and so on and so forth, and the things he was going into, and he said that basically around the lockdowns, right, the CVID times, is where he started doing research into this whole like conspiracy theory X, Y, and Z, and he said that his formal education, he got one of the best education possible at Yale University, but he said it failed him, right? Because he said that he wasn't able to connect the dots. He wasn't able to understand why and how things are going the way they are. So he decided, you know what? Let me take a look into the viewpoint of conspiracy theorists, you know, with an open mind, and just give them the benefit of the doubt and see what's going on. And he said once he did that, all the dots started to connect, you know, and that's when he was like, you know, I'm gonna dive deeper in here, and you know, he already got into the history and so on. So she was asking him these questions, and you can tell, man, based on I was listening to it, and it was funny because he's pretty much in the same ballpark of what we've been saying, right? And we've been saying this, you know, starting with our elders and apostles for years, but she's all jittery, excited and shit. You know, I got so many people are you know, want to talk to you and get your insight on what's going on in the world right now and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's real interesting because they want to get rid of us, and we say the same things. In fact, with more accuracy, the conspiracy theorists that he went and looked into are the same ones that are like, yeah, nah, get them off the streets, get them out of here. But then he goes into it, and then he starts coming out with it, and it's like, oh wow, this is brand new, refreshing information. It's so refreshing to talk to you. But it goes to show that really this world hates Yahweh Shai because we bring it in the energy of Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, and they're repulsed by that. You know, they don't want to hear that. But when he comes with it, you know, from a secular perspective, it's like, oh, it's so insightful and so on. And I was thinking how prior to all these things happening, the consensus was, we're saying it's going to happen, the world is saying it's not going to happen. And now that they see it happening, now it's like, okay, it is going to happen, but this is how it's going to happen. So everybody always has something to say, except just listening and going along with the truth, because the power that's making all these things happen is the source that we go to. That's how we know we're accurate. You know, now he says that what do you call that? I don't think it's Pax Judaica, but maybe it might be Pax Judaica, I think he says. that basically they're gonna take over, right? They're gonna take over they're gonna take over the Middle East, and they're gonna establish themselves as a dominant power, and then after that you're gonna have Gog and Magog and so on banned to come up against them, and so on and so forth. Which that's off. That's not gonna be the case. This is the war in which Gog is gonna get up in there and it's gonna escalate. Okay, this isn't gonna be a thing where you got like China and the U.S. like, all right, now everything is all good. We formed deals and so on and so forth, and so now let's like calm things down. No, it's not gonna calm down. So as he's saying all these things, you're seeing what's happening in these other countries. People are literally getting bombed daily. Sirens going off every 2 seconds, and they're stressed. They're afraid. But over here, you got people going to Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, getting their morning coffee like everything is all sweet. And like he said, when those false events start hitting this place, it's going to completely mess up the minds of the people here. Completely. They're going to be traumatized beyond traumatized.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." So going back to what the brother was bringing out, that eventually all these things that you're seeing around the world is going to hit here, America, Babylon the Great. All right, everything that Professor Jiang is saying, we've been warning about for years. Now you wait till he starts bringing out information that the Jays over there are not the real Jays, and that the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans are actually the children of Israel. And all these things, like we've been saying, all these world events is happening because the Lord is about to render that judgment upon America, Babylon the Great, for all the atrocities that she did to the Lord's people. Right? What's that? Zephaniah 3:8, where it says, "He that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye." All right? I believe it might be Zechariah. All right?
Yeah.
But that's what Babylon has done, and the whole world has witnessed, all right, that atrocity. You just have the EU come out and say that the so-called slave trade, or the transatlantic slave trade, is the gravest crime in human history. All right, the gravest crime against humanity, man. That's what they called it. And why is it the gravest? Because it was ordained by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, and it's etched in history forever. That this is what the children of Israel went through in the land of the north. Okay?
Right. This is Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. It says here, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye."
That's right. And the Jays never went through that. All right, the Jays never went through a history of them being spoiled like how we went through, man. 400 years of slavery, where's their records of that? All right, where's their records of going back to ancient Egypt? Where's their records, man? And they have to prove it from the scriptures. If they say that the God's chosen people, why they not proving that, man? All right, because right now we're living in reality of prophecy. That's the times that we're in, man. Prophecy is no longer a thing that we're just saying and telling you, oh, soon, soon, soon. It's now the reality of prophecy, man. And everyone is witnessing it. That's why Professor Jiang is speaking in the sense of prophecy. Why? Because he's in the reality of prophecy. Okay, and no one can escape it. They might pretend that they're not seeing it and hearing it, just like how, man, all these other nations pretended like they didn't see the atrocities that was committed upon the children of Israel in this land, right? Because they all fed off of our downfall, man. All these nations that are conglomerate came together to feed off of our downfall. They use us as human resource, okay? Human resource, man. And it's now time to pay. All right, come on.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and I'll start at the top.
Yep.
This is Psalm chapter 83, verse 1. "Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace,
right.
And be not still, O God."
Right, and that's why the Lord is about to bring that judgment upon America, Babylon the Great. That's the Lord saying he's not holding his peace anymore, man. He's no longer going to hold on to that judgment. It's finally going to rain. Okay? And the whole world is going to see it. That's why I tell you that in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, man. All right? That those that stood afar off watching and saying, that great city, within 1 hour, has her end come. Okay? That great city, man, America is that great city. See, they might tell you, oh, there's different states and all that, but America is really a great city. That's why you have citizens. Okay, those who are in that city, who are registered to be called a part of that city. They can vote, they pay taxes, right? they can have a say in what goes on in their societies. And so at least that's how it used to be. But now it's been taken over by all these private corporations. So you don't really have a say anymore, man. That's all the beginning of socialism that leads into communism, man. So it's over for these people, and they don't really see it yet.
Yeah, he mentioned in that interview martial law. He mentioned that they're gonna need a civil war, and then he referenced the movie Civil War. You know,
yeah.
he said, he said that you know, he said at this point we've basically already crossed the Rubicon. And he was making comparisons between Trump and Julius Caesar, saying how Julius, you know, he basically had the trust of the army. That's why they were able to go against the Senate and cross the Rubicon and become a dictator. And he's saying now that's what Trump is doing with ICE, because he's basically showing them that, look, I'm the only one who has your back, who supports your brutality. You go out there and you do what you want to do. So that way they become his private, you know, army, and then he can go about to you know, become a dictator, a modern day king, you know, and declare martial law. Now he mentioned all those things. He mentioned people getting sea-hipped. All of these things are biblical prophecy. But now if he's looking at it and he's saying, look, when you look throughout history and you look at like the secular world, this is the only thing that makes everything make sense. Right? When he says game theory, he's basically saying that the world is a stage and there are people playing games on this world. Right?
You're international bankers.
Yeah.
Ain't no war on this earth that doesn't go down if they don't want it to go down. They are the makers of war. Understand that. These
and
are
profiters.
Yes, the makers of war, because they stand to benefit. Is that qui bono? Right? Who stands to benefit? It's them. You always got to trace the money. Every disaster that happens, there's a reason why it happens. They actually cause it to happen. If they were to leave things alone, there'll be peace. You know what I'm saying? These devils went over to Ghana. All right, a friend of mine was telling me about that. He said they went to Ghana and they said they were doing. Oh shit! You know, they went to Ghana. They were doing experiments. Like universities was doing experiments in Ghana because they want to understand why you have so many different religions, so many different tribes, different belief systems, languages, different types of people, right, who are all intermingled over there in the western parts of Africa, specifically Ghana, but yet there's no war. How can all these different people coexist without any friction? Esau's not used to that. They're all they know is war. They're warlike people. Like Esau, the hunter. That's just who they are. So to them, everything has to be a war. Everything has to be some form of conflict, because through that, they're able to hide, right? Through that, they're able to control narratives, right? Problem, reaction, solution, or order, chaos, and so on and so forth, man. They get heavy into that. So much so that they go even further to even create psychological warfare, spiritual warfare. It doesn't matter what kind of warfare. As long as it's warfare, they're all into it, man. So they went to go study Jake over there to say, why are you guys so peaceful? What's going on? You see? What's going on, man? You see? So they can't seem to understand why these group of people are just a people of peace. If they wouldn't have infiltrated our communities and put in the guns, the drugs, all right, these philosophies that makes you self-destruct, if they wouldn't have done that, our people would be flourishing. You go back post Jim Crow, and we had our own things going on. Segregation, right? What was Jake? They had the suit and tie, they dressed with the hat, you know what I'm saying? They were put together. The ladies were dressed, they had their nice dress covered over their knees. They had their hat on, you know, going to church, you know, they were very orderly, family oriented. You see? There wasn't no shootings and drugs and all that. Nah, Jake was on their top of time. You had Jakes that owned steel companies that helped run the transcontinental railroads, man. It was all owned by a lot of Jakes. Okay? When they got their so-called freedom, they started to establish themselves. They had their own banks, right? So Esau knew that. When he saw it, he said, nah, we can't rule over these people. They're going to end up running America again. We got to do something about that. We have to destroy them.
It's like Egypt all over again.
Egypt all over again.
Except in the modern sense.
Yep. And then right after that, you had the feminist movement, the women's liberation movement, right? The whole concept of women's lib, which came through also eugenics, right? Margaret Sanger and all of them. It's all around that same time, man. Why? Because Planned Parenthood.
Hit plan.
Yep, exactly. It's wicked, man. But why was it always specifically? You don't see that with the so-called Moabites or the so-called Chinese, man. You don't see that with their communities. Have you ever seen a pregnant Moabite woman?
That's crazy.
See, you don't see them. They'll be probably in their house for 9 months, and then you never see them. You know, but our people, they get paraded around. They put them in the music industry, the movies, to influence our people on the negative side. You see what I'm saying? But if you were to leave us alone, we will always flourish, man. Our people will just be in order. Okay? Because they have true leaders, starting from the apostles on down. All right, that's one thing that these devils are afraid of, man. To see Jake in their right mind. That's the most powerful man that's on the planet Earth. A man in his right mind, in one line with Yahweh Bashem Shai. You can't take a man like that down. And they know that because it goes back to our history.
Yeah, that's why they destroyed our people so much that now, once again, that's why the title goes back to, you know, the world, this age does not stand a chance against what's coming. The judgments the Lord brought, you got to think about it, right? Like the judgments the Lord brought in the ancient world weren't as bad as this one is going to be. And he said that himself. And in the ancient world, you know, men were more like men, and women had, you know, more of a stronger sense of being a human being. Yeah, being feminine. You know, and back then they weren't as wicked as they are now. Because the reason is not because they didn't have the potential to be as wicked, is they weren't exposed to the new levels of wickedness that Esau exposes you to and gives you free range of access to now. So now the Lord says, at the time when you're least prepared, I'm going to bring the worst judgment that even they of the ancient world wouldn't be able to survive, let alone you. And that's going to come in the form of the modern sense. All right, with the destruction, the civil war, famines. All right, people not having food to eat. I mean, they're going to go crazy. You know, like the Zaquan was saying about how you have a lot of people that are what was it? Did he say opioid? They ever use like opioid or heroin or some drug? And so they get a patch. You know, it's like the Listerine patch thing that you put on your tongue. It'll come back to you. You know, and then they take that like a daily, and it gives them like a it was something, but it's some drug, some highly addictive drug, and that's what keeps them sane. So I mean, when we're talking about like Trank. Yeah. No, that might be a different one. We spoke about a bunch of different ones. And basically they these people that are like your you know, company CEOs, all right, your Uber drivers, people that look like normal folks in society, you don't know what they do behind the scenes, but this is what they do to stay normal, to stay functional. So you see them and they look all right, they say hi, they wave to you. It's all PR. And then wait till they don't get access to that anymore. You're gonna see, yo, why is that tweaking out so bad? And it's gonna start like, yo, he's getting frustrated over every little thing, you know, losing his mind. Then it becomes like, yo, you good? And then violence. Yeah, suicide. Violence is what ensues right after. And that's what they want. They want that chaos. They want that division. And that's exactly what they've ensued in the world today. Yeah, I had some more here. Where were we in this? Oh, I had a precept here, 2 Ezra 15, because you mentioned prophecy. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Right, and that's why the Lord sent the prophets out, start from our elders, the apostles of greatness on down, even their elders, to come out here and speak the words of the Lord. We ain't coming here speaking from any other book. It's all from the scriptures. And we explained it to you. All these years, you've gotten the explanation of the scriptures. You have the full understanding. There's literally a channel, we talked about it, a channel that has all the scriptures, everything broken down from Genesis to Revelation and everything in between. You have no excuses. Yeah. You go on YouTube, check the playlist, it's right there. You don't got to go look any further than that, man. All right?
It says here, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Right, just like he told Jeremiah. So at one point, we were all living in the world just like everybody else. Even though we always knew that there was something else that's more than what we're doing currently.
Like Professor James?
Exactly.
He knew something wasn't right.
He knew something wasn't right. He went to school, all these prestigious colleges, universities, traveling around the world and all that. But yet, there was something that was missing. You see, but he was conscious enough to realize, yo, hold on a second. Like you said, let me take a step back and listen to what these so-called conspiracy theories are saying. Let me hear what they got to say and see maybe they have something going on over there. Because a lot of things that they say tends to be on point. You see? So let me go in there and find out. And guess what? He ran into it and he found out.
Yeah, he went down the rabbit hole. Because you know what? He put his emotions aside.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you know, a lot of people, here's the interesting thing about people, man. They're very lazy to go and verify information. They're lazy to do research. They're lazy to do anything of that sort. So whatever they hear, somebody puts together a 10-second video on TikTok and says, hey, by the way, this is false because of, then they'll say some bullshit. But it make it sound like it's authentic. And then all of a sudden, that becomes the holy grail. That becomes the fact checker of everything in society. Oh, by the way, did you know that this is false because of blah, blah, blah? Where's the proof? Oh, well, there is no proof, right? It's in the pudding. Right. So that's the mindset they walk with. And he said, look, because Moabites, they good at that. You know, at least Moabite looking individuals, they're good at that, where they're able to just like, sometimes they come off like they're mean because they don't care too much about your feelings. It's more about, well, this is this, this is this. And you hear it in the way he talks. So he's like, look, I'm looking for what makes sense. Yeah, so why did he arrive at this? Why not all the stuff that they did, all the liberal BS that they teach you in these schools? He had all that, and he said, no, that doesn't make sense. And then Kim asked him, she said, where's the safest place to be? You know, with all this going on, with this whole wars everywhere, where would be the safest place to be? He said, look, I got 3 kids. I'm looking for the same thing. But what he said was, don't think that I got $10,000 in the bank. How can I become rich? How can I take advantage of this and do this and that? He said, look, that's not going, forget that materialistic stuff. He said, you gotta make sure you're spiritually sound. You know, you're staying alert with the news that's going on, and you're just mentally there. He said that's the only thing that's going to keep you stable. It's going to give you that clarity and stability in this time, no matter where you are. Because wherever you go, the trouble is going to follow you. And as things get harder, natives don't want immigrants. Right. They've already showed you that. Right. So if people say, oh, New Zealand looks safe, let's all go there, they're going to close their borders. Like, no, bro, fuck you mean? We don't got gas for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you forget New Zealand. Shit. Bronx to Brooklyn, you're going to have problems over there. Where you from? Yeah. Like Civil War. What kind of American are you?
That's the Civil War.
Yeah. You know, and that's the Lord stirring up a spirit. Mm-hmm. See, because right now you don't see that. But guess what? There's I'm actually uploaded later today. There's a video of this Edomite. And this, I believe this was down south. I don't know exactly what state. But there's this Edomite, and he came up, and I guess the Jakes that was living there, they had parked their car in the road somewhere, and he wasn't too happy about that. So he came out and he made a fuss about it, let them know. He said, all I'm saying is, don't park the fucker right in the road. Like, he just let them know. And they were like, yo, man, you stop invading our privacy. You on our property, da-da-da. You trespassing. Can you just leave? And they wasn't trying to hear what he had to say. So it went back and forth, back and forth. He got fed up with what they said. And he said, you know what? I'll be right back. He goes in his truck, nice little Ford F-150, goes in there. He doesn't even get all up in the truck. He just leans in, grabs an AR, I think it was a AR-15. He comes out with it. And he starts pocketing it up. And then the Jake is like recording him like, hey man, don't come over here with that. And then his boy's like, yo, get inside, man. And the Jake wanna be all like, yo, I'm recording, yo, chill, man. I got you a camera, you better not. Yo, the dude loaded it up, and then bop! He just let one out. Boom! And the Jake, he's oh shit, yo, what the fuck, yo, you did that? He's like, you get back inside or else I'm gonna take your head off. And that was just the spirit, just like that. And then the Jake realized, yo, he's not playing. He's dead ass. He already shot off a fire. And then he said, yo, I'm recording. You going to jail. You going to jail. That's what he kept saying. You going to jail. And the guy just got back in his truck and drove off. Just like that. He didn't care. He was taking his sweet time. He didn't rush off, run off. I just let off a shot. Let me run. Nope. He was just nice and easy. Got in his truck and drove off like nobody's business. And I said, yo, that's the spirit. The dude said, you going to jail. You going to jail. But guess what? Once the Lord stirs up those spirits, ain't nobody going to be talking about you going to jail because your ass going to be shot dead. Instead of that shot that he just let off, that's not. It would have been your head and you out of here, man. You see, and he would have just got in his car and drove off, and you were Jake. You think Esau gonna stop and come do an investigation and see what happened? No, he don't care. He see a Jake, oh, okay, all right, let's pick his ass up and take him where he gotta go. We'll figure it out later on. Let's go find where the Edomites are and help them out. You see? So that spirit is coming, man. That civil war spirit, that hatred, that Jacob versus Esau spirit, man. All right, when I saw that video, I said, oh yeah, it's just a matter of time, because the way he just so nonchalant, and it was just very like back and forth. An old Edomite, he said, I love black people. I've had, you know, they worked for me for years. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate y'all, but you can't park your fucker in the road. He was mad, you know? But that's the spirit, man. Little shit is gonna cause people's death, man. You be like, yo, what you had to shoot him because of that? Yes, because that's the spirit. It's the spirit of frustration. Remember, many occasions the scriptures tell you the Lord, he sought an occasion against them, so he stirred up a spirit. An evil spirit the Lord will put in the camp, and the next thing you know, boom, 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 all hell's breaking loose. He always did that, man. You throw one in the nation, you throw one over here. You said, Samson, yo, go start some shit with the Philistines, because I have an occasion against them. You see? So the Lord do that. He'll do that sometimes, man. But this time it's going to be, he's stirring up the spirits all over the place, man. Different kinds of spirits. Women going to be getting put to death. Yeah. The chairs and tables like, yeah.
Remember that.
You know, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of that, man. You're going to be hearing tragic stories about all these influencers and all these chicks that be putting themselves out there, dudes gonna be grabbing them up, gripping them up, tying them up, and then putting them in the house and then burn the whole house down, man. All because you say you don't like the nigga. He just gonna kill you just like that. That's the spirit that's gonna be happening in America very soon.
Yeah, people got to know how to use discernment and wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, like you got to understand that we're in a time where people are like, the whole bluff. You ain't calling a bluff and then find out it's just a bluff. No. So you got to use wisdom. Like, yo, a lot of people are of the mindset that, yo, it's dangerous out here. I need to be armed, or I need to have a certain mindset. I need to be ready to pull the trigger if need be. So you got to be careful. If he's saying don't park the car and whatever, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Just take the peaceful route. Because, you know, like you said, the spirits are roused up. And coming into summertime with a mix of hardships, it says that in 2nd Ezra 15, we're going to get that the people are going to invade one another because of lack of bread and great tribulation. The cities shall be troubled. That's what the scriptures say. And men shall be afraid. And that causes desperation. And when people are desperate, they're quick. They're not trying to reason. They're just pissed off. And sometimes it's not even you. They're just pissed off at the situation, and you are the way they're gonna let it out on. So you gotta you know, use that wisdom, man. Be able to you know, hold your tongue, bite the bullet, and use wisdom. Yeah, use acumen, use a sense of judgment. Stay out of certain areas. Nowadays they got man, and I can't wait for the Lord to open up judgment on these demons, man. Because now what they got is these gremlins, these high school kids and shit, that I think they call it a TikTok takeover or some shit, where they just go into like a mall area and just destroy it, steal, destroy everything, you know, attack cops and all that shit. And I'm like, yo, boy, like, what, Lord, what do you got? What is it going to take for you to bring mass judgment? Not like on some Alicia and the Two She-Bears kind of judgment, you know? Maybe they go and try that shit in some redneck neighborhood, and them Edomites come out and mow them all down. I mean, a whole damn high school full of kids, you know, because they're of this like retarded mindset, you know, quite literally in the word. They're slow of mind, you know, and they enjoy folly, and they think that because they're young, it's like they can act old but escape judgment because of their youth. That's not going to be the case, man. And may the Lord bring judgment on a lot of these little ass gremlins, man. They're annoying as shit, disrespectful, and they walk around. You know, that's their story. You know, I'm in 12th grade. You know what I'm saying? It's a battle. You know, I got my strap on me and shit. So they think that gives them some sense of power. Yeah. When they start starving to death, you know, again, a lot of the brutal judgments in the scriptures, when the prophets saw it, they saw people getting judged. So who are those people? You know? Yeah. Not everybody can be saved.
See, I was going to say, I sometimes mention it. You know, the Lord essentially is going to give people essentially what they want. You want to live that struggle, I'm about it? Well, don't worry. You got something called Jacob's Trouble where you can show that you're about it. You can show that you're a killer. You want to struggle, oh, it's tough out here? Well, you're going to be put in tough situations where it's really actually tough. It's at 12th grade. What the hell are you going through in 12th grade?
Right.
Trying to get some ass, trying to get your grades up. That's about it. If you're on the football team, like, well, you ain't going through nothing. You at home living, eating, shitting. You ain't got no problems or anything to worry about at going to school at 12th grade. But the Lord, like I said, the Lord's going to give people exactly what you want. You want to live that type of lifestyle. You want to be about it. You want to sit there and say, oh, it's tough out here. Well, you're going to be put in situations where it's actually tough and actually show the type of person that you are.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not that old, but, you know, even for us, you know, in like middle school and high school, like the world was completely different. You know, like the shit that people do, like you had the wired headphones, you know, and if Jake was grouped up, it wasn't on some stupid shit. They probably playing like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Uno cards or Beyblade or some shit, you know, or it was like you know, if somebody was a menace, it wasn't on the level that it is now. Now niggas are stealing cars. Oh, I saw a video. One of them you had, and then you get your precept. One of them you had these two, the YNs. That they enjoy that title, you know, YNs. And what they do is they went to this guy. I guess they were either trying to, because what they have is they'll go to certain people who own merchandise, and they'll say, yo, I'll pay you to take a picture with your chain on my neck and then post it online for a flex. And they go in there, and you got these two dumbass, straight idiots, bro. And they just standing there. You can see it on their face, proud demons, just standing there like that. So the guy recording is the one who it belongs to. And these two YNs over here, they got it on them. You know, so he said, how much is this? Yeah, that's what? All right. Oh, then they try to dip off. Man, he said, yo, I'm not playing with you. He pulled out his gun. He said, yo, I'm not playing with you. Oh, shit. Immediately. Now he's coming, oh, chill. Hey, how do you take it off? Take it off. He said, you put that shit on, right? Said, bro, I'm trying to take it off, bro. He got him all on camera. And the other one that I saw, they trying to rob a car. Man, that dude came out and let them shots off on their ass. Pop. Now they dying on the floor. Literally, they dying on the floor talking about mommy, I'm dying. I'm literally calling for his mommy. And it's like, bro, what do you, like, you think it's all fun and games, but this is the reality of it. So he actually felt himself dying while laying on the floor right there. Ain't nobody came to help him. Walk right past that nigga because you did it to yourself. You got it. Oh, yeah, the precept.
This is a precept for when you were talking about, I believe it was the guy that, before.
The Edomite?
Yeah, the Edomite.
The truck?
Yeah. This is book of Romans, chapter 12 and 18, and it reads, if it be possible, as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men.
Right,
And
that's pretty simple. No, you got it, guys.
No, you got it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. That's a wise saying, right? You know, if you don't want no problems, just don't cause no problems, right? When we were kids growing up, they said if you go invite trouble's gonna come looking for you.
Yes.
You see, and that was always something that we always kept in our minds whenever we're dealing on the outside, because at home you have a structure, you live by that structure. But when you go outside and that structure is not there with you, you got to be that structure. You got to maintain that same structure. So when these people show what they do, that means they ain't got no structure at home to begin with. So then there's an indictment against the mother, because if they had a father who's responsible, that wouldn't be happening. You see, so it's a whole mess up right there. You know, but at least it says what? Be at peace with all men, if it be possible.
I haven't seen the show.
So that means you shouldn't be the one to instigate shit. If anything, try to de-escalate.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, and trust me, only wise people, if you have a high IQ, you know how to de-escalate issues. It's not always on something like, if you know how to fight, you don't want to go fight. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you try to do everything in power to avoid a fight, because you know what's gonna happen. You tell them, yo, my man, listen, bro, just yeah, all right, it's all good. You can call me whatever you want. It's all good. Just go on your way, bro. It's better for you that way. For you that way. You see? So it's the same situation with the Lord. You know, if you're not applying the wisdom, then he's gonna put you in a situation that only befall fools. And then now you question, yo, what happened? Oh, oh, mama, I'm dying. Oh,
right.
Hey, that's stripes for the back of fools.
Yep. The fool's mouth goes for many strokes.
Many strokes. Yep.
They're fools, man. They're fools. They don't have the wisdom of discerning in this world. The scriptures say that we're in perilous times. Right? Paul said that. Therefore, be circumspect. So you gotta, and being prudent, when it talks about a prudent man looking forward to his going, a part of that is like, it's not just being able to know like what's happening, but okay, if this is the kind of world we living in, people getting shot over parking spots and shit like that, I'm not finna get into an argument with you on that. I read an article that had it was a parking spot, I think, in a driveway or something. And long story short, somebody got pissed. They called somebody else. Dude came up in there with a gun, straight in there, pow. So it was a mother, and then I think her 13-year-old son, and their 2-year-old was in the back seat. So the mom and the 13-year-old are gone. The friend that was over there, she said, in the quotes were, she prepared herself to die because the nigga was right there. But he shot and missed. And then she called the cops, and then, you know, he ran off and they caught his ass and shit. But just like that, he just came in there, ended them, you know? And the thing is, they're no longer considering like, oh, that's a 13-year-old, or that's a mom, and you know what? It's just a driving spot. No, because the spirit of vengeance is out here. And when you understand judgment, how the Lord's judgment works, you know, okay, so the Lord wanted to call those two spirits back. You know, that's part of the stability. But the prudence in looking well into your going is knowing that, you know what? I don't know what this guy might have on him. Is this really worth it? Now, that's different than like, all right, you're threatened, or, you know, a loved one is threatened and you got to defend them. That's different. But if it's a matter of just like pride and ego and shit, all right, cool, you know, it's fine. You leave it. You know, walk away from it. It's all right. Hey, you got it. Yeah, you're right. Yep, my bad. I'm sorry, man. You got it. And naturally, even if you're a wicked demon, naturally, that's like putting fire on water on fire. Fire can't do anything once you put water on it. It has no other option but to just die out. Unless you're throwing logs in there. So you can use the same thing. That's why the scriptures say life and death is in the power of the tongue. you can de-escalate a situation, or you can escalate a situation.
Extinguish the fire. Got flame.
Got it.
On this book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and 1, and it reads, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." And you know, brothers, we go through this all the time. And when someone's being a demon to us, you know, we talk to them calmly and nicely, and then they start to calm down. But if we go back at it with them, it's like adding oil to the fire, or gas to the fire.
I remember that, because I remember one time I was working, this is when I used to work in retail, and you had this, I think she was a manager, but she was on the floor, and she, you know, they called for like a stock check, like, yo, do we have this in the back? And I guess she'd been calling, but nobody was like answering, and it's busy. So she started getting mad, like, yo, fuck, where y'all at, man? Like, so she got to tell the customers, oh, just hold it, because she's trying to make the sale. I was on break. So I come back, and then I'm like, I hear somebody calling, but I hear them frustrated. So I'm like, what's your location? So I go down there, and she's already pissed off. Like, what's going on? Where the stuff's at? Y'all doing your jobs? Like, what's going on? Blah, blah. I'm like, look. I wasn't even here. I was on break, you know. But instantly, her energy was going up. So I said, okay, no, I'm gonna just bring mine down, and then hers is gonna come down. And that's exactly what happened. You know, and I explained to her, I said, I understand your frustration. But you know what? First, let's just get the stuff for the customer, then we talk about it after. And she was like, okay, it's this, it's that, it's this. I went and got it. I bought extras. I said, if you need this, I'm gonna put these over here. After that, she liked me ever since. You know, always looking out, oh, blah, 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 just because of that. Because I knew in my head, I literally knew, I said, yo, the way you're talking to me, somebody else would get frustrated. Like, fucking me. Like, it's not my fault. I wasn't even here. So why are you yelling at me or getting at me? You know, but she doesn't know that. So you got to apply wisdom. And where people go wrong is they take the wrong path. They apply emotion and stupidity. They don't apply wisdom and logic and calm down. Now you don't cause a situation. The customers mad. They look at their stuff. They looking at the unprofessionalism. Now there's a whole event that is like, and it wasn't even based on you because you were on break, but you put yourself in the situation. And a lot of people, as simple as it is to us, it's unfathomable for this world. Like, why do I have to talk to her calm? She started getting at me. But do you understand the situation that's going on? So they'll take a situation like that, and next time it might not be in a retail store. It might be out on the street. Or a Centurion. And you go and say some dumb shit and get blown away. You know? Because even that, look, Centurions ain't gonna play fair with you. But you gotta know how to play their game. Because you may think you at a disadvantage, or they may think you're at a disadvantage, but applying wisdom puts you at an advantage. You out here trying to act tough. He has the gun. You know? He's gonna use that gun, use that gun tonight. You know? That's a joke, that's an inside joke. But he got it. You don't. He got the cuffs. You don't. He has the badge. He has all of that. You don't. You got black skin. That's what you got. So you in the minus already. And you just don't give him a reason. He might be pissed off, but if he's like, you know what, like, I can't find, it's like trying to fight somebody that doesn't want to fight you.
You should be in the mindset of giving him a reason not to shoot you.
There you go.
Don't give him a reason, because the reason is I pulled you over, I'm ready to pull the trigger. Yeah. If I'm pulling twice, I'm pulling twice. I'm pulling you over and I'm pulling that trigger. So just give me a reason why I shouldn't do it.
That dude's trying to make that turn.
Oh yeah, he pulled up and he stopped right there. He said, "You make a move and you see what happens." And everybody just stuck. All you see is the eye just moves. That's it. No head shake, not just the move. The eye just.
That's the cat and the rat. The rat came out the little tunnel. He tried to move. The cat's like, oh, everybody stops. Him, the cat, everybody stops.
Hey, but I was gonna give another example of being able to basically use your tone, right, or even the way you speak, right, to either escalate or de-escalate, right? Because it's the same amount of air, if you really think about it, right? The same amount of power on air that you use if you were to start a flame or blow out a flame. For example, if you have a flame on a candle, you could go and it's out. But if you want to try to light up a fire, you got the charcoal, you got the lighter and all that, you gotta use the same amount to blow, and then that air is what sparks the fire even more. You got to give it that air. So if you try to instigate, people do that shit. They'll nag you. They'll keep fanning the flames. They keep bugging you. They'll keep doing shit to egg you on. It's using the same mouth, egging you on. But the same person come around and say, yo, bro, don't worry about that. And keep on pressing. You might be the hothead, and the calm person can keep coming to you and say, yo, bro, chill with that. It's the same amount of pressure, but used on a different side, opposite side. So you have to have, like we use the word acumen, to know when to use what. You know, do we need fire here, or do we need to blow out the fire here?
Right.
How do you go about that? You know, and if you do it the wrong way, the opposite way, you get the opposite result.
Yeah, and the part of that also goes into knowing what to say, how much to say, when to say it.
Right.
You got a lot of people, man, that you very easily self-incriminate yourself. Yeah, self-incriminate. You self-incriminate because you look if you in a time of you see this all the time. Even shows like The Walking Dead. Somebody start asking you certain questions, and you saying a bit too much.
Right.
Now you weren't an interest, but now you are an interest. Oh, you said y'all came from here?
Right.
Oh, okay. And what's over there? You know? Oh, they got stuff over there? Oh, yeah, they got mad shit. We got food, women, all that over there. We safe. And no security guards, too. Oh, okay. That's not, you want to show me where? You know, you're saying too much. You got to know, like, in your mind, okay, what angle is this person getting at when they asking this, that, and the third? Know how to give little but sufficient information. You know? It's all about discernment. Because now you're coming into the time where your margin for error is little to none. A wrong move could mean either you or somebody that you're with is getting captured, or they're dying, or they're getting infected, you know, by a wound or something like that. So and the Lord might have it to where you're preserved, but it'll be a hard journey for you if you're not, you know, you don't listen.
This is Sirach 8 and 16 in the GMT. It says, you should not get into an argument with anyone who has a hot temper, or go to some place where two of you will be alone. Violence means nothing to such a person, and he will attack you when there is no one to help you. Very plain, simple, straight to the point. Like brothers going into, you getting into a situation where a person that has a hothead. And some people know this, like, oh, he's a hothead. But then it's like, yo, you get into an argument with him. So when you and him is alone, that person already is like, yo, this person's taking me off. I'm gonna attack him, I'm gonna do something to him.
Some Joab shit. You know what I'm saying? He got Abner by himself. He said, yo, let me talk to you real quick. And then boom, right in the fifth rib. Just like that. Abner should have been smarter. You know, he should have known that, yo, I killed his brother. He's probably looking for me. He's trying to shed blood. You know? And he just, you know, tried to be cordial. And he ended up falling for the trick and got fucked up. You know? But
Yeah, I got some more here. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse, that was on that chapter? Continuing in verse 2, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
right, because they speak against us because they're in opposition to the words that we're speaking. They don't know us personally, but why do they have such vitriol towards us? Because what we're saying to them cuts them in the spirit, and they know that, yo, this is talking about me, but I'm not trying to repent, so I'm gonna come against y'all, hoping that y'all could just stop talking. No. Okay, we didn't choose to start talking. How are we going to choose to stop talking? It's not from us. It's from the Lord himself. And trust and believe when the talking stops, you're going to wish that we were still out here talking. That's how bad things are going to be, man. And it's always like that. Whenever things are in abundance, people don't look for it because it's always there.
Like water.
Water. But once there's no water, you see how fast you get. You get even thirstier when there's no water. You know? You can go 3 days without water, and you know that there's water, but you're like, I could drink it whenever, so it's not that crazy. But you go 3 hours knowing that there is no water, you're gonna be mad thirsty. Like, you be like, yo, what the fuck? Just because you know there is no water. That's how bad things are gonna be, knowing that there are no answers for what I'm going through right now. But there's nothing I can do about it. Like, literally, worst case scenario happening every single day, man. To all the people that you know.
It's gonna get real messy out here.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't prepared for that, man. They're not.
It's not gonna take 24 hours.
Yeah, it ain't. Because, you know, you got people that are used to, they forget, you know, there's this dependency, right? That people forget. If you ask somebody who lost the ability to walk, they'll tell you how much difficult their life, how much more difficult their life has become. Because when you walk, you don't think about it.
Right.
You think about what you're gonna do or where you're going, but you don't actually think about the fact that you're walking, because it has become such a thing you do with second nature. But you depend heavily on it. And if you can't walk anymore, you start to realize how much you can't do without your legs.
Right.
So people get so used to living a certain kind of way they get into that routine lifestyle. They used to you doing certain things. You know, like everybody has their role that they play, and when they get so used to it,
Funny, sorry, there's two examples because she's walking normal, but you can see she's walking, but obviously she's walking with like a little
yep.
thing.
Yep, that's the spirit. Yep, yep. And so they're used to that. They're used to everybody having their roles, and so much so that they take it for granted. They think that, you know what, I can live my life without you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you whatever. I'm good. But they forget that means that you need to assume the responsibilities of said person if they're not there. The problem is you can't do it. That's why he had to do it. So now, if they're not there and life is getting hard, and we're talking about basic things, people crash out in a normal society. Why? Because they got a flat tire, they had a bad day at work, you know what I'm saying? Like things didn't go well, so they just crash out, they lose their minds. How much more for when actual danger is there and you can't make a decision? You can't choose between a yellow dress or a blue dress. How are you going to choose between, life and death? Who gets to eat? Who doesn't get to eat? How do you ration food? You got people that they waste food, you know? Oh yeah, just whatever, just go to rest hour, it's fine. We'll just go and buy. They're not resourceful. That's gonna cost you a lot more when food is scarce, because that very food you wasted, once it's gone, you're not getting a refill. Now what? So all of these things that are like, they're so trivial, you don't really think about in a normal society. You're gonna have to think about a lot. How to actually talk to people, know how to read people, how to discern people. Like in the TV show Black Summer, I think it was Black Summer, and there was a scene in there where this guy deceived this woman because she had a car. It's crazy. It was an ugly ass car, but back then, at that time, cars were very valuable. So she has the car. She got the doors locked, and she's in the driver's seat. And this guy pulls up, and in his mind, he's like, you know what? I can't use force because I can't get in the car, so I have to deceive her. So he's talking to her. It's like, look, it's dangerous out here. You're gonna need a man with you, X, Y, and Z. And you know what? She knew she shouldn't trust him, but she wanted somebody to trust so badly that she let her emotions go against her better judgment. At least I'm not alone. He sounds like he knows where this road goes. He knows what's going on. She literally sat there in the steering wheel. She said, "Don't fuck me over." He said, "No, I won't. I'm a Christian just like you." And slowly, she let go. Got into the passenger seat. He's like, look, all right, cool. Let me show you where we go. He gets in there. He gets the keys. Come on, trust me. He gets the keys. Whatever he got on him, turns the car on. He puts it in park. And he goes from that calm dude, nice smile and shit. Get out. The bitch is like, what? Because she went from 100 to 0 back to 200. I said, get out. What do you mean? Get out the car right now. You just told me where I said, get out. Now she lost her car, she lost her gun, she lost her keys, and niggas stole all that shit. He's gone. See that? This is why you can't. A man would have been like, nah, it's all right. I don't need your help. I'm good. You don't have a car. I got the car. So what do you have to offer me? If it's a comfort, I don't need your comfort. No. So it's like men know in society, men are like the predators, right? That's how they deem men, predators. So you need a man on your side because he knows how men think. So if a man is trying to deceive you, another man knows, no, he's lying. Don't trust him. Don't believe that. He's just trying to do this. He's just trying to play that. But a woman is going to fall for it. And in that time, that can mean your life. Nobody's going to come looking for you. Today, people don't even come looking for you. They throw out an Amber Alert for 2 days and then you go. That's it. You declare dead or missing somewhere. Meanwhile, you in Arizona in the basement under the Grand Canyon.
That's why women are not judges. Men are judges because men actually can judge character. All right, man. That's why whenever somebody wants to get married in ancient Israel, you go and seek your father's approval. You don't go to the mother and say, "Oh, I want to have your daughter in marriage." No, because she can't be a judge of your character. You could come off all nice and flamboyant. You got all the extravagant clothing and so on and so forth, right? And that could woo her. Say, oh yeah, this guy looks like he's the top of the chain. Oh, you should, get with him. But the father's the one who's gonna look at that man and be like, nah, I can't give you my daughter because you're not gonna treat her right. You just got all this as a show, but the real you, no, that's not what I want to be associated with. So the father would judge that character of that person. He'll go, where you from? Right. Who's your father? Where you from? Like, tell me more about you. You know what I'm saying? The father typically is the one. If brothers who know, if you try to go out with a chick, even today's society, and she got a father in her life, and you got to meet the Father.
It's a hard battle.
Yeah, you got to meet the Father. He better like you. Because if he doesn't like you, that relationship is not going to last. It's always going to be a clash. Sometime it's going to be, y'all could be all together, but it's always going to be, yo, but my father, yo, but my dad, my dad. She's going to have to make a tough decision. She's either going to leave home and come with you against her father's wishes, or it's going to be the other way around, against your wishes, right? But it's always going to be the father. The mother typically would just be like, all right, fine, you can go, because at least it's another man. You see what I'm saying? But the father is always going to be the one to judge that character, or your brother, your oldest brother. You be in the stead of your father if your father wasn't there. You see? But all that stuff is all lost in the society, man. And that's why you have what you have. You know?
Yeah, and that's why in the law it even told you that a husband or a father can disannul a vow.
That's right.
You know, if a woman tries to make a vow and he hears it and he's like, nah, no, that's not valid. I'm not with that. That's it. It is not. It doesn't matter what she says. You know, why did the Lord do it that way? That's the Heavenly Father's love, so He knows. Yeah, I got some more on here. So back in 2 Ezra 15, continuing in verse 4. For every unbeliever shall die in their unbelief. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, because unrighteousness hath taken the upper hand on earth, and their wickedness knoweth no bounds.
That's right, and that's because the man of sin is ruling. That's why wickedness has upper hand over the earth, man. But now the tide is turning. Right, the truth is now getting the upper hand, as it tells you in 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter. The truth is now taking over the upper hand. That's why you got people like Professor Jang, and he's getting all this publicity because he's speaking from a truth-based perspective, and that's what's lacking in this society. You see, but like I said, ultimately, whatever he's saying is going to line up perfectly with what we say from the prophets, from the apostles on down.
For the most part.
Yes. Yeah. You're going to start here. Now you're going to start hearing him talking about the Bible, because it's like, okay, after I did all this research and I made all these connections and found out all these dots, it led me back to the Bible. All these things that's going on in the Middle East, it goes back to the scriptures. And he's mentioned that, you know? So once he gets a little bit further down, he'll be like, hold on, wait a minute. If the prophecies are saying this about this nation and these nations and so on and so forth, then who would they be today if we're seeing these events happening? These questions are going to come up. So you cannot hide from this, man.
That is on the premise that he's not an agent, which he could very well be.
Right. We're going to find out. You know, the Lord is going to reveal all of that. But guess what? Ultimately, you could do nothing against the truth but for the truth, man. So eventually, it could be Professor Jang, it could be whoever. They're going to be saying the same things that we saying, because the truth is undeniable. You could try to hide all you want, but ultimately, you're going to have to just deal with it, because that's just the reality of prophecy, man. All right? You got it.
Going on, it says here, verse 7, therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
Right, because for so long, this society has been used to wickedness without being punished. Right, you got something that might be unlawful, but it's legal. Right, we got same-sex marriage, for example. Right, it's unlawful, but it's legal. You see? And then for so long, because it's legal, people partake in these things, not realizing that, hold on, wait a minute. This is actually physically unlawful. Like, my physical body as a man shouldn't be attracted to another man, right? Or a woman shouldn't be attracted to another. It should be the other way around, right? But this society is so used to the wickedness because the Lord hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't brought down the hammer yet, because everything is set for an appointed time. Thousands of years of wickedness just flourishing upon the face of the earth. And now the time is coming. It's happening in a very short time, but it's happening very fast, man. You know? So all that is going to be done away with when the Lord finally says, okay, now it's go time, man. And it's going to happen just like that. All right?
You got it. Verse 8 again, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Gave examples of those YNs, right? If they were to be doing all that shit and they'll get instant judgment, like how it's pronounced in the scriptures, stone their ass in public, right? Burning the whores and all that, yo, the bullshit would have stopped, man. It would have stopped, all right? Because it's actually a known thing that the more people you put in prison, the more criminals that you build. You know, you make them more you go to prison once, you end up going back in there again. There's a higher chance of you going in there than not going in there. So sometimes the solution is just death, man. Some people you can't correct. It's like, nah, this isn't, this is not a defective sheep. This is just a sheep that's gonna cause everybody else to go. I'm just you're just a cancer. It's just not a cancer that's in you that I can remove. No, you are the cancer. Therefore, you need to be removed from infecting everybody else. All right.
So,
Well, it says here, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me,
Right.
and the souls of the just complain continually.
The men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, we're constantly crying to the Lord, constantly complaining to the Lord, man. When we do these lessons, that's a complaint to the Lord.
Right.
When we just live our regular lives and we witness these things that we see in America and around the world, the injustices, because we know the truth. So when we see things that's outside of the truth, it bothers us. We get frustrated. You know, we get upset and it bothers us, so we complain to the Lord. And the Lord makes intercession on our behalf, the Yahushua that is, he makes intercession on our behalf to the Lord, and we see things happen after that, man. All right? And all these things are pleasing unto the elect because we're seeing the Lord taking this place down. We were talking about it yesterday. How we're seeing the Lord deconstructing America step by step. Every single month since 2020 has been a deconstruction. Every single month, man. You might not notice it, but it's happening covertly. And then sometimes it happens overtly where everyone is affected by it. But every single month there's been something new, right? You're further away. Every single month you're further away from the old normal that you were used to before, man. All right, life has changed completely. Within just the past 6 years alone, the places that we used to drive, it's not the same no more. It looks completely different. They got cameras everywhere now, speed cameras everywhere. Like there's construction almost everywhere now. You can't even park like you used to. Stores that we used to go to, they're all closed. They're down. It's like, what happened to this place, man? Slowly becoming a ghost town. And they're building all these bum-ass buildings, man. You notice there was a time in human history where architecture was like, it was respected.
Right.
Like, to be an artist, it was respected. Now, you got all these corporations and they build all these square buildings with no life. You look at Taco Bell from the old to Taco Bell now, you're like, why did they build it like this? Right? The McDonald's buildings that they used to have, why is it like that? The churches, why is it like that? The government buildings. You know, there were times where you go to a hotel and it had its own structure, like it was unique. You know, it had a theme, it had a you know what I'm saying? But now you just see a name, Hilton, and it's just a big concrete building just like the other ones. They all look the same. There is nothing unique anymore, man. And that kills what? The artistic spirit, which is your right brain, I believe, or your left brain. One of them is the creative side of your head, your brain. That kills that side, man. So everyone has become robotic.
Yep.
There is no ingenuity. You know, it's all just robotic. Everything is robotic. You know? And that kills the spirit. That kills the spirit to seek more. You know, to want to do more, man.
You gotta go.
There's I have a point about when you were talking about the cancer being needed to be removed. If you look in the book of Kings, when a new king came into power and they didn't remove like the idols and stuff from the wicked things that Jake did from the previous king, they would end up going off again. You know, Asa, he came into power, he did away with all of that, and he did right by the Lord, and he ruled for about 40-something years. But all the other wicked kings, they ruled for way less.
Who's it that ruled? Who'd you say that ruled?
Asa.
Who?
Asa.
Oh, Asa. Okay, I thought I heard Esau.
Oh. Either way.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, it's crazy because that's the reaction you get if you hear something positive about Esau. You know, because he was literally created to be the son of perdition. In fact, your country. You know, it's interesting. Your country's in the middle of a war right now, right? A war right now. Your president has been lying to your face for God knows how long. This is a war that's doesn't really even concern you. It's for Israel, you know. But you got people here today that don't even see what's actually happening. I think the Iranians, they posted a tweet or something, and they were talking about regime change, and then they posted the pictures of the U.S. Those in Trump's cabinet that actually got removed and replaced. And he said that's the real regime change, you know. Where they X'd them out. It said Pete Hegseth basically said that the head of the army should retire, you know, go into early retirement. So they're moving a lot of people, and you got to think, why are they replacing so many people in the military, replacing so many people in the cabinet? Because they're looking for war hawks. They said exactly. Because they know the phase at the end, and we just now entered into April.
That's the real regime change.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what the Iranians were saying. You know, and they're saying, look, What happened to having complete domination over the skies of Iran, and then now you had your jet shot down, your fighter jet shot down, the helicopter went in there after, and they shot that nigga down too. And then CNN's dumbass gonna come out and say, oh, you know, yeah, they show the image of the seat that got ejected out of the jet, and the pilot is missing. Nobody knows where he is, but we don't know how he should really feel about it, because maybe the Iranians actually want to help him because they like the fact that he's there. I said this bitch should not just open her mouth and say that. So somebody made a tweet. They said, okay, hold on. And I started thinking, okay, yeah, let me see how this makes sense. So you bomb a country while they're in negotiations with you twice. You injured the person who was just recently negotiating with them, right? You injured that nigga in an attack. You basically threatened them. You killed the Ayatollah. You're literally in the middle of a war against them. You've been sanctioning this country for decades. And then in the middle of a war, a pilot who was in a fighter jet that is a part of the army that is trying to come against the country that these civilians are living in, they're gonna see you and say, welcome, we actually want to help you because we like the fact that you're here. Does that shit make sense to you? That's what they should have said to that chick on the show. But of course it was a woman, needed by a woman. So, you know, he's not really sure if he should be concerned or he should be relieved because there's a chance that, you know, they might be looking out for him. That's the BS coming out of their mouth. So your country, they're trying to capture his ass. They said, look, the state media said, look, everybody around, they got farmers with AKs shooting at these jets. You know, they got the shovel in one hand, and the second they see it, they pull out the AK in the other with precision too. Like, what's up with these farmers? So that shows you the mindset of them. Over here, they couldn't even catch a freaking rat. You know, you have a whole block come up and they start dancing around the shit, because you know rats, they jump too. You know, FYI. So then they come up to you, he jump on your shit. Now you got people tweaking. Over here, they're weak, they're soft. That's why the scriptures say the men of Babylon have become as women. They have forborne to fight. That's why they ousted them out of there. PD came out there and said, look, when they gave them that speech, he said, look, we need a new spirit, a warrior spirit out here. And now a lot of them are against this. So they need to come up with either that civil war or that FF, that false event, to try and give these people an appetite. It's so bad. I mean, they got to make it so bad that people are like, yo, just give us somebody to blame. You know, what do we do? Because when you start feeling the crunch, like they're feeling in these European countries and these Asian countries, with like fuel, I mean, that lockdown is real. They telling them, look, hey buddy, let me tell you something. When you get gas, you only get enough to get you from where you are to where you're going. No more than that. You know, and we watching that shit. We're gonna find out. They're gonna start coming out the papers. Where you going and where you from? Where do you live? Why are you going to another state? Don't you know we low on gas out here? You know, next. And that's how they're gonna be documenting all this, because you gotta ask yourself, whenever they mention lockdowns, they need to enforce these lockdowns. How do you enforce somebody's license plate that is authorized to be on the road? And because you could just get in your car, I don't give a damn, and then get on the road. How do you enforce that? How do you enforce that inside somebody's house they're not using too much gas? How do you enforce that they're not buying too much gas? How do you enforce these things? So the measures are draconian, but the enforcement of it is even more draconian. So that's how you got to think when they start mentioning these things. Your country's in the middle of a war. We're talking about World War III right this very moment, and these niggas walking around like everything is all sweet. Like they don't know anything that's going on.
The same way they're walking is how they were walking 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Same way. Ain't nothing changed. There's no different spirit. There's no, I'm going to stop and listen to what the prophets are saying. None of that. It's just nothing, because they haven't been listening to anything we've been saying all these years. So it's not going to be until the shit hits the fan and it hits their doorstep where they're
When shit go in their mouth.
Yeah, you know, and when they're getting the treatment that the people in the Middle East are getting, right? People in Tel Aviv are getting. That's when they go, because y'all all together. Y'all forgot, y'all Edomites just like them. So the judgment that the Lord is sending upon Edomites, it starts with the Had tribe, Amalek. It comes all the way here to America. All right, so don't forget that. Don't think for 1 second, just because you're opposing what Israel is doing doesn't mean that the judgment that they're going to get is not going to come over here. They're going to get rocked, and America going to get rocked too, and it's going to be done deal, over with. So prepare for that. All right, prepare for that. Don't be talking about, oh, we're not going to fight for Israel. You must want to go fight for Israel, because those are your brothers. You know, those are your brothers. Go fight for them and let them fight for you. These elites that are running around causing all this shit, you need to be staring up hell to go to the White House and go speak on your behalf. Don't come ask no Negroes and all of that. Now remember, we're in captivity, boy. We're not trying to fight for the same freedoms that you're trying to fight for. All right? Because the scriptures tell you, for here we seek a continuous city, but we seek one to come. For here we have no continuous city, but we seek one to come. So we're not gonna fight for no justice and equality, doing protests because we want a piece of your kingdom. Fuck out of here, man. We want something greater. We want the promise. All right, we don't want this bullshit over here. You done ruled, you done destroyed the whole earth. Now you want to talk about we're gonna be equal in this shit here? When BlackRock owns pretty much all of the housing, majority of the housing, you know, the central banks, they own everything, right? What do we own? What are we gonna be able to get shit done? You got niggas talking about we're not in captivity. Prove to me that we're in captivity. Last time I checked, nigga, you can't break no laws. You follow laws. You don't make laws. All right. If you are not in captivity, you will be the one. Your face will be on the dollar that you use or the money that you use, right? At least, what so-called black man you see ever on any of America's currency, huh? How did you even get here? Was it by choice? We're talking about you not in captivity no more. You in the land of your captivity. Talking about you not in captivity. You're the old fool, man.
Yeah, I just saw something here. It said Gen Z women are ditching the girl boss lie for trad wife, for the traditional wife life, putting family first. It says here how young women rank their dream lives. 47% are now saying traditional wife path. 23% are saying the girl boss dream. So I wonder why they're saying that. They're starting to realize that girl boss is an illusion. Girl boss just means, I got you. You gotta take your ass out there and work extra hours, come home late, and you come home and you gotta cook for yourself, do the dishes yourself, buy the gas, pay for the bills. You gotta do all that by yourself. You know, and then maybe get assaulted on your way home because there's nobody to defend you once or twice a week. And then you start to get the picture.
And then you still answer to a man who's your boss.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so at the end of the day, they realizing, no, I think I'm all right. It just takes one or two scares. You got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for some of you women, you have to understand that's too late for you. And for some of you, you're not gonna like hearing that. But no, for real, it's too late because you have to understand that this mindset has been put into you from a youth up. So you have been this way of that girl boss type of stuff, that hard girl type of stuff. You've been hoeing, you've been sleeping around, and now you think when you're older, you think that, okay, I have now decided, because you think in your mind, I've decided I'm not going to be like that. They call it the soft girl era. I want to be soft, I want to be nice, I want to be feminine, I want to be at home. You have to understand, for years, more than 10 years of your life, because you've been through high school, junior high school, college, some have went through, or just if you skip college through your life, have been a certain way and have been doing something for more than 10 years of your life, which let's just say hoeing, going out there monkey branching. And you think that now I've decided, hey, I'm not going to be like that. There's a saying, old habits die hard. It's going to be hard for you to stop being a certain way when you've adopted this certain type of way that you've been for years. You're going to look automatically because you've developed that nature of, I'm going to look at other men. Oh, what's he got? What's this and that? Because also there's that thing, what you call it, micro cameras, if I'm not thinking that's it. I was thinking the other one. I think it's telephony, but I think that's something else. But micro cameras, where it's like what you are attracted to a certain type of man because of the man that was the first guy that popped you. Let's say he was a dickhead. Let's say he was an asshole, whatever. You're attracted to that type of stuff. Really, you're attracted to him, but you're attracted to that type of stuff because you're trying to find him in other guys. So if he has certain qualities and things like this is why women say, oh, why don't I always go for the bad guy? Because the first guy that popped you was pretty much a piece of shit, and you're trying to find him in other guys. And so you're just essentially still chasing that energy that the first guy popped you in these other men. But now you're grasping onto other energies that these other men now have. So now it's just diluting the pool, and now you think that at this point, the pool is completely polluted, all type of nastiness in it, and you think it's gonna be a nice, easy, clean. Yes, baby, I may be talking, you turn around. No, she over there turn around, man, I said that. Now you think that, oh, it's gonna be easy, clean, sweet now to just completely clean the pool. No, that you gotta get rid of years of nastiness in it, and that's not gonna be so easy. Why you think that some of these women, although yes, they say they want to be in their soft girl era and things like that, right? They still do the same stuff. Ciara, I've seen her put it up. Oh, your motherhood could be your soft girl era and stuff like that. But she's still doing the same stuff that she was doing when she was younger, still showing skin, still doing all this type of stuff. It's, for some of you, some women, yes, you may get that mercy from the Lord, but some of you are not going to get that mercy because it's too much. You've been already just too into the game already to pull you out. You're too deep into it.
There's that video, I know, I'm sure brother saw it, of the marriage where the officiator was telling the woman, basically saying the ritual rites or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And she's like,
Submission.
love and obey or something like that.
Yep.
Bitch gonna say love and then stop. He's like, love, then he's confused. Love and obey. Maybe she didn't hear me. Obey. I ain't obey. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's like, look. It's just this part of thing. Just sit. So she's like, the fact that I even have to say it alone is like not enough. And then she ain't even stop at that. She's like, him. If him of all people obey him. I'm like, oh. I'm like, oh. So I mean, you gotta really think about what that looks like, right? It's you, your family, your friends, her family, her friends, and it's being somebody recorded that shit. And it's like, bruh, that's such an embarrassment even on the guy's part. You know, like you gonna always remember that. Like,
gonna marry that?
bro, like, yo, damn, how you wanted to marry that, bro? Like, what's going on here? You know? So it shows you like, and of course it has to be the ninja woman. You know, no, absolutely zero respect for him. You got an Edomite woman, she said that shit quick before the priest even says it. She be all up on your ass. You know, a freaking heathen woman would submit herself. But leave it to the Judite woman or the Israelite woman. That's what she's gonna do. She doesn't care where she is. They don't know how to have. There was one where a dude proposed to a chick. I don't remember the price of the ring. This bitch said no because the ring was from Walmart.
I think I know what you're talking about, but it's been a while.
Yeah. And it's like, but it was like it was a ring. It was an authentic ring. She said, "Oh, you embarrassed me and blah blah blah. How could you get me a ring? Oh, bitch, you lucky you got a ring. You think that shit cheap? But you got to keep in mind too, like these are the kind of women that you're dealing with."
Yeah, I was gonna say to what the story that you were saying, it may have been a skit as well, but it still proves the point that some men actually go through this. That when she heard the word obey, she already reverted back to her old thing because why? That's the easiest. Obey a nigga. Fuck out, I ain't obeying no nigga.
Yeah.
You hear that black woman attitude, right? What's that? But one movie, The Diary of a Mad Black Woman, all this type of stuff, them Tyler Perry movies, because that has been put in the woman's mind to be that, to be loud, obnoxious. Elder Apostle Paul always mentioned it. You can hear them before you see them. You don't hear, ah! And it's down the block. She's far away from you, but you're hearing her voice from down the block before she even comes here. And then when she comes to you, it's even louder. It's like a fucking, like them playing, what you call it? In the cars and things like that. You hear in the car from down the block, and then by the time it comes to you, it's mad loud. And you think we like talking about women like this, but it's, like the brother said, it's embarrassing. It's like, our women is like this. But hey, you like being like this.
That's ultimately a punishment the Lord put on the men of Israel, right? Because we went off against the Most High, He put our woman against us, right? Because if our woman was with us, we would not. The hell is not going to be that painful. You see what I'm saying? Because at least you have the woman, that friction, because the woman is our glory. So if you have your glory in tune with you, you know, the hell is not that, you know, it's bitter, but it's not that bitter, you know, because you still have balance.
You're in it together.
Exactly. And two is always better than one. But when you have that friction and you got to deal with all the bullshit around the world, the elements you got to deal with, the society itself, and then you got to deal on top of that, your woman stressing you out, you know, coming against you on all fronts. That's the Lord who did that, man. How come all these other nations, men are not going through the same thing? They have their women in subjection. At least they work with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's not until now where, you know, you got the whole Edomite woman and an Edomite man. They got divorces left and right. And, you know, what's her name? Christy Norm, her husband, came out, this nigga with boobs and all that.
What?
Yeah.
Shit.
All kinds of debauchery, man. That's who she's married to, man.
Shit.
You know? And going back to the point you were bringing about how all these big people in society, the politicians and the CEOs of big companies, guess what? They always use PR to make their images look good because they're wicked as hell, man. Yeah. If you were to strip all that PR shit down and see them for who they are, you'd be like, what the fuck? How are you in this position? Like, look, you on drugs, but you go on TV and speak against people on drugs? Like, what the hell is going on here? You got a lot of, my E was telling me, like, you got a lot of real estate agents right? That, you know, they might be all nice and you see them on the billboards and all that,
Yep.
but then behind closed doors they be snorting coke. They're the most disgusting people. They don't even know how to talk to people. They treat people like shit. You be like, yo, how the fuck is this motherfucker like? You know what I'm saying? You know, the weather.
It's real hot out here.
I said the same
Fuck
shit.
The weather. The warm
Nah,
out.
you're right about that.
Yeah.
You know, that's them niggas is all evil, bro. You know, and they greedy. They'll step on anybody, you know, fuck anybody over. They're all about the bag. That's American culture, you know, capitalism. Like, I'll step on anybody, shit on anybody, stab anybody, as long as I'm getting paid. And that's the mentality that's wrapped around the whole earth. That's why it has to be reset, because it ain't like something we can, it's a systematic fix, you know, just get a new regime. It's not about the regime, it's about the system and the mindset of the people. They're so dirty, the mindset of the people is so defiled that there's no reforming to most of these people. You know, the only thing they fit for is to be burnt for kindling in the fire. That's why it says in Sirach that the congregation of the wicked is as tow. I'm paraphrasing it, but that's like kindling, you know? You know? I had a precept to add to which our brothers were talking about. Sirach 25 and 13, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. And hey man, from the beginning, from the time of Eve and the serpent, that's what they've been here to do, all right? Be a thorn in our side, you know? And they're literally under the vibration of Satan from that time. You know, if you find a woman that has half a sense of any type of, half a brain cell in her brain, that's actually surprising, you know? And it ain't like a worldly friendly message that we have, but we don't give a damn. We're going to say the truth about it, okay? These congregations, they got to speak all nice about, you know, these different skeezers and harlots of America, because they want that congregation money. They want to bring in that money from these different women that come to their congregation. But with us, we give it to you raw. You know, we give it to you straight up, no chaser. And if you can get down with it, beautiful. You know, if not, because there's sisters out there that have repented, may the Lord bless you. We know there's going to be women that's delivered, but the masses, we're not talking about, we talking about the rule, not the exception. You know, and the rule is that for the most part, all these women are a snare to you. 99.9% of these women, we don't even have no business talking to them or dealing with them at all, man, because they're a waste of our time, man. You know. And as a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Lord's will we endure to the end, we have peace through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So anything that comes into these outside elements of these different females, we got to be very mindful of who we even allowing and giving our time and our energy to. Because, and especially now, seeing everything that's happening with prophecy, oh, they got to be, you know, it got to be basically a miracle for you to even get around us, you know? And at this point, you know, most of you're going to have to just deal with what you're going to have to deal with. You know, you chose the world. All right. And we have peace. So we're not going to let some chaos goblin come up in there with all her rah-rah bullshit and her mess and her chaos and fuck up my peace. You know, these brothers' peace. You know, you brothers that are watching peace. So keep, you know, just keep that in mind.
That's right. That's right. So where we
I'm
at?
black and I'm proud. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah. That's that. It's funny, right? Because it's like a lot of people act like we're exaggerating, but you know, when you actually look and you experience this in real life, you experience this on social media. If anything, what we're saying is like an understatement, you know, compared to how they really are. It really is obnoxious. You know, it's hard to even be around. And it's just like, yo, just keep that shit out of here, man. You know, and the Lord does not like to tolerate that. All right, and that's why the judgment that's going to come, he's going to set all that straight. See, the Lord controls everything. It doesn't matter even if somebody wants to help you. The Lord says you're not getting help. You're not getting help. That's the end of the story. And no period plan, nothing. You're good. It's on you. You know, whether it's starving, all right, whether it's and a lot of it's something I also noticed, man. It's like when you look at biology and you look at how the human body is designed, it's really the minds that Esau has corrupted, because biology and nature itself teaches you that there are limitations on what a woman can do and what a man can do. But when it comes to physicality, a man's limitations, his stats are much higher than a woman's by nature. So unless you've been training your whole life like Wonder Woman, all right, you're gonna need somebody. The way they run, the lack of stamina, the lack of strength. Remember that when you're in a time of like life and death, yeah, you may get some extra strength, but a man who's already stronger, he also gets adrenaline that kicks in. That means that his steps might now double or triple if he's chasing your ass, because adrenaline is pumping, you know? And you, as he's catching up, fear is creeping in, which means that you start to go more into your elemental stage of, your natural stage of being more, like if you, I got a cat. Sometimes she act up and she'll try to run, do some dumb shit and try to run away. And when she sees that there's no way to run, she'll stop.
Right.
And then she'll just like go down and be like, fuck, I'm caught. Yeah, she'll submit because I'm caught. But if there was space, she'll try to run. And that's what's gonna happen, no, biologically, as they're thinking, you know what, I got this, they're gonna realize, fuck, I can't run, I'm tired, you know? And now you thinking like, well, do you let the nigga catch you?
Panic sets in.
Because panic sets in. Do you let the dude catch you, or do you know, what do you do? And that's the thing, that people think that strength is all exterior. Strength is not always exterior. It's from up here, okay? You got men that are in these other countries that are stronger and they can survive more of these harsh conditions because mentally they're conditioned. You know, mentally they know that if I tell my body this, that's what it's gonna do. Here, they're led by their body. They're led by their belly. I got you. So if there's no food, their mind is gone. They're like, their mind is not working right. You know, if there's no peace, there's no safety, they're bugged out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you see some of those guys going sub-degree temperature water, and it's like, some of them be skinny as hell, but it's like, yo, how are you going into that water like that? It's freezing cold. The natural action would be to the minute you feel something cold, you're gonna jump out.
Yeah.
But they stay in there and they sit there because why? Their mind is stronger than their body.
Yeah, see, these Navy SEALs and, you know, special ops, some of them don't look like freaking the Hulk or Thor. Some of them look like your average Joe. You know, like in terms of body figure, but they're strong. Yeah. Damn, what's the guy? What's his name? His real name? Rogers, Steve Rogers. Yeah. The skinny Steve Rogers. Well, you gonna mess with a dude like that and wonder how he flips you in like, you know, using like minimal effort. You go to punch him and he grabs your hand and then boom, now you're on the ground. You're like, wait, the dude is like half my size though. What's going on? Because one thing you'll find out is strength is more than size. You know, what they train them to do is how to use their mind to connect to their body. So you can draw out more strength if you need to. You know, you can go into a certain zone where you're like, yo, it's either life or death and I can't afford death, so I have to do this. There's no plan B, right? There is no tomorrow. People today don't have that. They can't plan, they can't think, they can't do anything. That's why the title says, this world is not prepared. This world does not stand a chance. We need the Spirit of the Lord to be with us, right? Revelation 3:10 says the Lord is going to keep us. The way the brothers in the Maccabees were able to endure that torture was because the Lord was with them. He put a spirit on them to be able to go through that. So if the Lord doesn't put a spirit on you to sustain, you ain't going to be able to sustain. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you think you got. None of that is going to work. So where we at with it? You still at that? Yep.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and 14, and it reads, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Yep.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh."
Now it's interesting because that's what's also in Revelation 12 and 12, right? About for the devil has come down onto you having great wrath. See? So woe to the world and them that dwell therein, and now the world is starting to see it. They're starting to feel a world recession, okay? A global recession, global energy crunch, which is going to lead to global lockdowns. You know, that's the natural reaction to conserving energy. Go ahead.
"And nations shall rise against one another with swords in their hands."
You see that now. Now, on a higher level, their swords are their rockets, their missiles, their drones, okay? And in terms of nationalistic, like actual nationalities, you are seeing that, okay? Like the Edomite that was ready to, you know, boom. And if he wanted to take the Jake out, easily he would have taken him out. Because they know how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people, Jake watches a TV show and think that shooting is all about grabbing a gun, aiming, and just pressing it. They don't know the mechanics that go behind it. Accuracy, recoil, all of these things. How do you actually factor that in? They don't know that.
You gotta even the military. They gotta even the military, and she got the machine gun. They put the stand, and she's behind this shit, and she starts, boop, 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 and then the shit fucking gets off the table, and now she's shooting on the ground.
my gosh.
And the nigga in the back, he's always jumping it down. He goes, stop it. He had to cut the camera. You know, it's like, why do you have this in the military?
Yeah.
You got another dude, he in the military, but he's scared of needles.
Oh damn.
So he's sitting down there about to give him the needle, and he's like holding the lady's hand. He's covering his face, and his arm is out. He's shaking his foot. He's stomping his foot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are the so-called strong men that are supposed to defend the country.
Yep.
These are the men that they're saying they're gonna send overseas to go fight.
Men
Who are
of
they
war.
fighting for? This man is afraid of needles. How did he even make it through training? And this is who they have in the military, man. They can't have strong men. That's why I'm saying, yo, they're gonna do this whole Iran thing. Iran is going to slay these niggas because the so-called strong men of this society, they're weak. Look at Hegseth. Hegseth should be your example. He's the head. So imagine who else is gonna be following a nigga like that. You think Hegseth could really throw hands, bro? Yo, come on, man. He's one of the most despised men on earth. If you're a real man, you see that dude, you be like, yo, dude, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, but hey, keep it spiritual.
Yeah, but just like you said, man, that's weak. That's weak. And guess what? The Lord said He's gonna give us strength. You know, we got it mentally, but He's gonna support us physically.
I actually have that.
Oh, that's it. Of course.
This is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary.
Yeah, so we know that we're not gonna have a missed call. You know, we ain't gonna call the Lord and it just goes to voicemail. No. He fainteth not, neither is weary. The Most High doesn't get tired. Okay, He doesn't say, okay, that's enough. I'm gonna take a break, and then you call me back within these hours. These are my working hours. He doesn't do that. He's always alert, always watching, always on guard. Right?
Neither is
Okay.
weary. There is no searching of his understanding.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
Yeah, and guess what? We're the faint right now, and He's gonna increase our strength. And that's talking about going past what is considered natural. Samson had an increase in strength, okay? And the Most High, you know, you saw what Samson did.
You had Elijah and the prophets of Baal. When Elijah was proving the Lord's power, and you had the prophets of Baal, they were doing everything in their power, day and night, screaming, cutting themselves and shit. And Elijah was like, hey, maybe he's taking a break, maybe somewhere else.
You know, lunch break. He got his mouth full of food. His phone is ready. Oh fuck, these niggas call me again. Ah, damn it. Yeah. Came fresh out of the Ball restaurant. Yeah, okay. And he didn't answer them.
Yeah.
And the Most High came down with that vehemency, burned everything, licked the stones, the altar, all of that. You know, let him know, look, it's me. Yeah, the water, all that. You know, I'm the real one true living God. You would think that after that they would forever, you know, just follow the ways of the Lord. But you dealing with Israel. So where we at?
So can I just shot to
It's like there's some more of that?
Yeah. So I read again. Verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
Yeah, we're liking unto those that have no might, right? We can't. How are we gonna take on a freaking special ops team? You know, what did Biden say about rising up? He said you'd need you know, certain military grade weapons. You need a whole military. You have 15s and all that. We don't have that. So how's the Lord gonna give us strength? You know, how are we gonna stand up? How are we gonna defend ourselves? He's gonna give us power, and we know the spiritual is always stronger than the carnal.
Verse 30. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Yeah, utterly meaning completely. All right, so you would think that, damn, the youth are supposed to be at least the ones with strength, you know, with stamina. But even they, you know, in their youth and their strength, they're gonna fall. But you know who's still gonna be standing? Those that wait upon the Lord. Because there's gonna be a certain limit. See, yeah, you can be Usain Bolt in his prime, but even he gets tired. You know, he's fast, but for a short distance. Okay, we're not gonna be tired, as the scripture is gonna say. All right?
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles.
That's to be able to fly. It doesn't mean you're gonna grow actual wings from your back. It's a simile. All right. You're gonna mount up as with wings as an eagle, just like an eagle is able to, you know, fly up and then fly in different areas. We're gonna be able to do that.
Right. The Lord used an eagle for a reason, because the eagle is the king of the birds. Right? There is no bird that could go toe to toe with an eagle. You know what I'm saying? In the heavens, they have a very sharp, keen sight. Like they could see things miles away clearly. You know, they'd be hundreds of feet up in the air and they could spot a fish like right beneath the surface of an ocean, and then come down, swoop down, grab that motherfucker with the talons, and then fly off. They got wide wings, very powerful wings, right? Their beak very strong, you know. They got their talons, right? If you see an actual bald eagle in real life, you'd be like, damn, these motherfuckers that big.
Yeah, one of them give a press conference on April Fools.
Eagle face, you know. But if you see them the way they're built, you'd be like, oh shit, you know. But the Lord is using the attributes of an eagle, the majestic flight, the power, and so on and so forth, and that's how He's attributing that His men are gonna have. He's gonna bestow us with power that we could fly just like the eagle, man. You go high. I think they fly the highest flying bird.
You're one of the highest flyers.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
You got
Like the scene from Hancock, when he takes the beer or the drink from under the chair and he just like mounts up. That's an example of mounting up. You know, he basically just like shoots forward like a eagle. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. I mean, at that point, that's it. At that point, you know, like it doesn't get better than that. You know, like at the time when you need it most, boom, the Lord comes through. Yeah.
They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Yep. So we're gonna have that, because when you're weary, you're tired, right? And that's like the average human today. That's why it says even the youth shall faint, right? When you walk, when you run, when you move, you get tired. You use energy. But here the Lord says we're gonna run and not be weary. We're gonna walk and not faint. We're not gonna get tired. We're gonna have like infinite stamina, and we're gonna move at faster speeds. Okay, like
because the Spirit of the Lord is going to be within us doing all these things.
Yep.
You know,
like Elijah. Elijah he outran Ahab's chariot.
Yeah.
And the chariot is driven by horses. You know, and Ahab's chariot had the head start.
Yep.
Now Elijah was old. So what was going on here? You know? Yeah, you know, I said, hell, he just kicked him, boom, 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 boom. You just see his mantle just flying in the back like a cape, boom, 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 boom. What the fuck? Is that Elijah?
Jumping over trees.
Yeah, doing that parkour and shit. Boom. That horse is like, you know, he waited over there. What's up? Where you been at? You know, he wasn't like out of breath. He had about to die and stuff. But that was the Spirit of the Lord that jumped upon him, you know, and gave him that horsepower, you know, that speed. So the Lord can do that, just like Samson. See, when the scriptures say that Samson slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass, that is a lot of, Mike Tyson fighting one man in a ring, because these Philistines weren't like people that didn't know how to fight. They knew how to fight. They had weapons. Mike Tyson, you know how much cardio it takes to endure even 12 rounds in a boxing match, and you're getting breaks in between. And there's a ref every so often cutting it out, and you're able to clinch, you know, and then all right, get your breath a bit, you know, and then sometimes you just stand there. Yeah, both just stand there, you know, you weigh in, you know, you back up a bit because you're just tired. Catching your breath. That wasn't the case with Samson. And that's one man that you're going against. You had 1,000 of them, and here's the thing about warfare. They don't say, you know what, oh, there's 5 of them right now, I'm gonna just wait. You know, when y'all done, then I'm gonna hop in. And no, their goal is, the more, look at how strong this guy is. Of course we all going jumping. So how much stamina do you think it took Samson to slay their ass with a jawbone of an ass? And reflexes, right? Even David, he talks about that. When you go to war and you're fighting thousands of people on the battlefield and not one of your men has any casualties, you don't even get touched once, that's like super heightened reflexes. That's spiritual power right there, to be able to do that. You know? So that we're gonna run and not be weary, that's what it means. You know, we're not gonna get tired. And that's the blessing of spiritual power. We're gonna need that in this time. You getting chased by helicopters, you got drones after you, you know, I did a lesson on basically this bill that they're trying to push, and in the bill is basically like a back door to be able to allow autonomous killer robots, because the bill says they should not be able to AI should not be able to have a say, like a yes or a no in launching nuclear missiles. They should not be able to basically do a few other, you know, like lethal, make a decision on whether to actively kill or not kill in a certain situation. And then in the same bill, the next line says, but I forgot who the person is, but a person in a certain role can suspend this for a year, you know, and they can basically just go around these limitations we put for a year and then renew it if need be. So what's the point of even putting this in there? You're just basically saying I'm just giving you an entrance in here to use these autonomous killer robots. So imagine in a world like that, because they already have in the military. There was a startup that invented this military helmet where you can see through walls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see through walls. It's like it gives you analysis. Okay, who is this? Where are they? How far are they from you? All of those things. You know, it might even tell you, like, if you're a sniper, aim right there. You know, aim just high enough so that the wind could carry the bullet and hit that target that you want. It's almost like playing a video game. And you got all of them coming after your ass. Of course we're gonna need power. That was on that film? Cool. Got it.
This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, and it reads, "For there shall be no constancy with the people, and when one overpowers the other, they shall not regard their kings nor princes."
Yeah, they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. And you've seen that now. That's going to lead into that civil war. Okay? That's going to lead into that civil war because this guy, he done already crossed the Rubicon. Okay? It's just a matter of time now, and things are moving fast. Now it's not a matter of like months. Months are now weeks. Okay? Weeks are now days. That's how fast things are moving. And along with those things that are moving, we also got events that are happening. So when the Lord says, you know what, I'm not going to stir up, like if I say something's going to happen in 3 months, it's going to happen in 3 months. But what I will do is I'll make the months feel like weeks. So even though it's 3 months, it feels like 3 weeks. You know, and then boom, next thing you know, it comes to pass. Because things are moving very quickly. You know, when you're in a situation like the Iran situation, it's very delicate. Because at any moment, the slightest thing could escalate. And now what they're doing is they're attacking civilian infrastructure. They're talking about they started with the bridge that they bombed, and they're saying they're going to bomb the electrical facility. They're going to bomb. Basically, they're moving away from just military bases to now civilian infrastructure. So if you say that's fair game, Iran is going to retaliate and say that's fair game too. You know what else is civilian infrastructure? American soils, because Iran has proxies, and Hezbollah is one of their proxies. And years ago, there was somebody they caught who was from Hezbollah who said he was coming to New York to make a bomb. So, you know, you had those 2 Muslims a couple weeks ago that went in through the homemade, supposed to be an explosive downtown, but it didn't go off, they said. So you've already had, you know, a few here and there, a few here and there. It's only a matter of time.
And they bombed the U.S. Embassy over there?
Yeah, I forgot what country it was in.
Bahrain?
Bahrain? Yeah, it might have been around there. And then there was one where they quote unquote foiled a plan to it was a bank, I think it was a bank in I forgot what country it was in, where they foiled a plan to where you had they call them like Iranian T's were trying to go blow it up. So they're letting you know. Then you had ISIS. Was it ISIS? It was some group that called for the burning of
ISIS,
yeah.
Sunday.
Yep. Easter Sunday. Okay, we're gonna see. Got it.
Continuing, and practice violence in all their dealings.
Look at that. They're already doing it now, but at that point, it's going to be like free game because who's going to be here to stop you? Certain cities are just going to be completely overrun. You know, it ain't going to be no nothing. Okay, no security, no guards, no nothing. You're going to go to certain areas like, wait, isn't there supposed to be security over here? It's going to be nothing. Just alarms going off. You know, broken windows, broken glasses.
Hey, remember, just understand that they're trying to set up the conditions that's appropriate to fulfill the prophecies of the 2nd Ezra's part, where you got the neighbor against neighbor breaking into homes, taking your shit because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. These are the conditions that leads to that. Because once the energy crisis is fully fulfilled, meaning it gets to a point where now it's like, okay, now it's consist in our society, life isn't going on as normal anymore, where you could say, damn, 2 months ago we could actually go here and do this. Yo, 3 months ago this was happening. Those months will turn into other months that becomes so like unrecognizable, where people are going to be taking advantage of that. When they start coming up with new rules where even the cops can't drive their cars because the city's like, yo, we can't afford to pay the cops gas cars no more. Like, we can't give them gas no more because shit, there's no gas. You know? So then what's gonna happen? That opens the door for what? Fully autonomous robot dogs.
Yep. Yeah. Hey. Well. Recent because electric powered vehicles and also electric powered AI dogs. So not too long ago, there was a certain state or city that was telling their people don't call 911 because there's not enough people to come. They're not gonna come. They're not gonna show up. So if you got a problem, just find a way to deal with it. You know, they said if a burglar tries to just give him the money, yeah, just comply because we ain't gonna be there anytime soon.
You know what I'm saying? Like they said they didn't have. Oh, it was the defunding the police thing.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, defunding the police. So they're like, yo, the police are not funded, so they're not gonna be at your aid. You know what I mean? So if some shit goes down, you know what I'm saying, you have to fend for yourself. So think about that. Like crime is gonna go crazy, and then they're gonna be shutting down the lights at a certain time because of energy crisis. You know, a lot of rationing that's gonna happen. That's all going into the famines. Okay. And it's going to be like literally a cause and effect that has multiple effects. One cause that has multiple effects. You'd be like, damn, this one thing has affected everything? Yes. And it was all done by design. And they were building on this for years. The banks get affected by this, the transportation, telecommunications, healthcare, right? Food, everything gets affected by it, man. You know, your rent is going to be going higher for no reason. You know, your light bill is going to be going high, even though you're using less of it, because you don't have access to as much of it, but you're still paying more.
Okay.
Verse 17. So that when a man desireth to go into the city, he shall not be able.
You're seeing that now, right? On many fronts. You got people that are trying to travel and it's harder for them. That's just a prelim. Because people in their mindset, they think, oh, no, it's still possible. You know, I went to the airport and it wasn't that bad. So they're not looking going to their goings. They're thinking, as long as right now it's still doable, I'm okay.
It's always going to be like that.
Yeah, it's always going to be like that. If anything, it's going to get better. And they still don't understand that things are getting worse, but they're conditioned to always expect it to get better. To always expect somebody to come and tell them, oh, we're working on a solution, we're working on a fix. And so when the day comes when there's nobody to tell you we're working on the solution, we're working on the fix, they're gonna start losing their minds. They're gonna be like, yo, wait. So nobody, hey, the scriptures say that it says that there shall be no man. They're gonna be like, there shall be no man. What's that? There shall be no man left to comfort them.
Right.
A lot of people expect the second sign goes down, they already oh yeah, we're already working on it, we're deploying this, we're doing this. But soon they're just gonna come and tell you what the problem is. And then that's it. Well, that's it for today, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow if you're still alive. And then that's it. And people gonna turn it off like, wait, what the fuck?
They'll be lucky if we get that. They just gonna read it from Truth Social. And that's gonna be it. You know how people are gonna be so frustrated, like this dude is not even giving interviews no more. You know, he's not, the Lord might have him get taken out, and then they're just gonna use AI to be on some extra shit that looks like Trump.
Everybody taking out.
Yeah, everybody taking out, and it's just AI just wilding out, telling you all kinds of crazy shit that you gotta do.
That's it. Oh, you got it. Any more? Yeah, you got it.
Verse 18. For because of their haughtiness, the city shall be troubled.
See that? And that's the one thing that nobody ever thinks, that it's because of them. Because of their haughtiness, the city shall be troubled. And people never want to look at themselves. The scriptures say in 2 Ezra 16, scourges are sent for amendment, but for all these things they shall not, amend their ways, shall not repent from their wickedness. That's why the Lord is going to bring it like a time like never before. Because it's because of your wickedness, your haughtiness on all levels that this is happening. And because you don't know that that's the case and you don't want to accept that, you won't change it. And that's why it will not stop. Got it?
Y'all hear that Mark Rubio canceled the status of
Soleimani's family members and living in the United States.
Oh, really?
His niece and his grandniece, they basically took their green cards from him.
Oh, shit.
So,
Damn.
yeah, so I don't know if that's one that they're probably gonna get arrested or some shit.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. They're probably trying to do some hostage shit.
I think. Huh? No, remember Soleimani? The nigga that got killed a couple of yeah. His grandniece and his niece was living here for like years, and they just took his status. So that goes to show you, like, these devils are playing a different war game now.
Yeah. Hey, well, Iran came out and said that they said we're not showing up to Pakistan for no peace talks. Because in their attacks, they injured one of the main negotiators in these backdoor peace talks with the U.S., who was supposed to meet with Vance. They injured him severely, and they said his wife died and everything. So you think he's gonna come out of that and say, "Oh yeah, let's continue negotiations"?
But I told his son, right?
No. This is one of the negotiators.
The former, he was a
Foreign
former
minister?
foreign minister.
Yeah. They cook. But yeah, that's crazy, that green card thing. But that's showing you that, well, if you were actually negotiating peace, wouldn't that be like a token of goodwill? To be like, you know what, it's fine, but you're doing that. How you expect them to come with peace?
And that's showing this most of also getting more draconian too, because those two individuals technically are citizens,
Right?
Not citizens, civilians rather. They're civilians. So why are you now attacking civilians that have nothing to do, with what's going on with the war?
Hey, just to add to that, they just blew up a bridge. I don't know if brothers mentioned that yet, but they blew up a bridge. It was a civilian bridge going into Tehran, and they double tapped it. So they bombed it, destroyed it, and then when the first responders came, they dropped more bombs on it. So like, you doing all this and then talking about, but yeah, let's negotiate. Like, you shitting on me, you killing my people. Then you want me to come and try to reason with you? That's some real audacious shit, man. That's some extreme level of pride that this man has, man. That's how you know. It says what? Pride goes before destruction. So that's how you know this man is, and he's going ballistic with his shit. He's on a whole nother level of pride with like, yo, the shit they doing is like, they used to like at least kind of hide it back then, They used to kind of hide the wicked shit they do, but now they just on Front Street. Like, yo, listen, the president of the United States is admitting to war crimes on national TV. They're not even saying, yo, the oil, we're gonna get the T's and the terms, whatever. And he's not saying none of that. Like, listen, we just coming, we're gonna hit their electric infrastructure, we're gonna drop hell on them, we're gonna fuck them up.
It says, Donald Trump posted earlier today, remember when I gave Iran 10 days to make a deal or open up the Hormuz Strait? Time is running out. 48 hours before all hell will rain down on them. Glory be to God. President Donald J. Trump.
He's talking about his gold, his oil, and his drugs. That's his God. But you see, again, it goes to show you, like Shiara was saying, this is the only devil in the world that who do war crimes to cover sex crimes. He's the only devil that will do some shit like that. What the Epstein files? Oh, we're gonna start a war so they can stop talking about this sex crime that we did. No, it's not gonna go away. All right, because it's not about whether Americans are gonna say something about anything. No, this is the Most High who's bringing that judgment upon you, man. This is all part of you being exposed for who you are. All the covering that you've done over the years to make yourself look all diplomatic and the moral standard of society and so on and so forth. Now your actions are showing the whole world who you really are. And everything we've been saying about you is true. But then what's gonna happen? The world finally gets together and says, yo, the Hebrew Israelites, they're the true men of the Lord. What's gonna happen? You devils gonna demonize us and come against us like you're doing to everybody else. Look, we're trying to save you guys from the Hebrew Israelites. They're the terrorists of society. They're the reason why everyone is suffering. Don't you see? No, it's you media, you hate Trump so much. So you want to just take this and make it into something. You spin it. You take misinformation and a little bit of leaked information and you spin it. Half truth. You spin it. Nobody try to hear none of that, man. The enchantment is not working. You see? So they sound desperate. Every single time they speak, people ask them questions, they look at each other. Like, you answer, who's answering what? Because they're desperate, man. Their enchantments are not working. All right.
Remember that look he had at the end of his address? He did the,
Oh yeah.
That was a proud look if I ever seen one.
So a lot, but no words. I guess I just heard some. I guess they said this came about in January 1st of 2026, but I guess they just enacted it officially. So it says in Germany, it says all young men between the ages of 17 and 45 are now no longer allowed to leave Germany for more than 3 months without permission. I got a little small insert. It says Germany has officially enacted a new law requiring all men between the ages of 17 and 45 to obtain military permission before traveling abroad for more than 3 months. This permanent peacetime measure is designed to maintain an accurate military register in case of a national emergency.
Shit.
Being a part of the Seven Hands, the Beast, America's at war with Iran, Germany talk about getting in it, small hats, all that. So what you think about the happen behind this? They said that in case they know it's about to go down. They got the whore fighting. The whore is fighting against the Persians. That shit's getting crazy right now. Look at the impact it has on the planet for a short amount of time.
All American Week 2026 at Fort Liberty is canceled because troops are being deployed to the Middle East due to rising tensions. The Army says it's due to, quote, operational requirements.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Trump actually said, he said that this is a war, but he said, I'm not going to call it a war because Congress is they're going to get on my ass. So I'm going to call it a military operation. You know, but we all know what it is. So when they say that, they're indirectly telling you, you know what it is. Come on, you know what got it.
That's boots on the ground.
Crazy, yeah.
You know, and what did Russia say? Russia said if America brings boots on the ground to Iran, they're going to also join into the war. That's what they said. So what does that mean? That means an escalation. An escalation. Russia is getting into the fray now? Yo, man. Hey, and then last time I checked, guess what? The Euphrates River is also drying up, if it hasn't dried up already. That's also biblical prophecy right there. So when you look at it, everything is lining up. The one thing that's left before this thing go nuclear is that CHIP, man. And you've been hearing it from our elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, all right, that this is the last thing that's left. You know? He's out of here, too. He's gonna get smoked out.
That thing, man, it's gonna come quick. It's gonna come quick. Because remember, it said that the Revelation 3, the hour of temptation, and we were talking about that how Yahweh Shai mentioned that when he was before he went through what he had to go through, he said the hour is at hand. You know, which is like a time of testing. You know, so it doesn't mean that it's gonna be something that's like 12 months long, 2 years long. That's not how we're gonna survive that. You know, so it's close.
Yahweh's trial was like less than 24 hours, really. You know, from the time of the Passover to his burial, right? When you look at the time frame, it was about 24 hours span, right? And that was his time of trial. After all the work that he did, it was 24 hours. Now, we're not saying that the CHIP going to come out in 24 hours to be out of here, but it's going to be a considerably short time, meaning the Lord's going to speed up the time.
But it's going to be intense.
It's going to be intense. It's going to be intense. Right now, days are speeding up, man.
Right.
The days don't even feel like regular days. Brothers were saying it yesterday, like, yo, it don't feel like a Friday. We were saying that in the morning. We stepped out like, yo, why did today feels like it didn't feel like a Friday? What's going on? And then later on, the brother confirmed it, yo, today don't feel like a Friday. I said, oh, that's the spirit. We're talking about that today. So everything is out of whack, man. Around this time of the year, you should have the greens already. Look, it's mad slow. All right? You know what I mean? They got so-called Easter coming up and all that. We're going to see how the Lord is going to use these events to stir up the pot of prophecy, man. But we could see it like, yo, this thing is picking up.
Let's start at the top. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all thy nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hands against the strange nations, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. And let them know thee as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O God. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. That's all of this is to showcase his power, to showcase that he is the one and only true living God.
That's right.
And this is what we've been praying for, man.
That's right.
You know, like brother said, from our apostles and elders, you know, that labor before us on down, us entering into those labors, this is the only thing that we care about. Yeah. You know, we have, you know, our responsibilities and the things we have to do throughout our day to day, but our main priority, the top of mind on our mind is the Lord magnified himself. right? And bringing righteousness on the earth, because this earth is out of course, man. Everybody's miserable. And the people that are ruling, as it says in Sirach, the 10th chapter, he's an unwise king. And the unwise king destroys the people. You want to talk about peace and stability and all these things, well, you got to start from the top. There's an era that proceeded from the ruler, man. And this is why the Lord said, what, in due time he will set one over it that is profitable. This is a cry, these are the prayers that are being presented in the heavens, in the midst of the Lord, man, by the high priest, Yahweh.
Because he witnessed it. He was actually on this earth. We witnessed the injustices that was happening to our people back in the Roman Empire.
Yep.
And he was a perfect man that was put to death. Think about that. He died the death of a sinner being perfect. How? How? You know what I'm saying? So imagine the kind of judgment that he's going to bring upon this earth. That can only happen if you have a wicked rulership.
And what did he say? He said that the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, but the violent take it by force. That's the same thing as devil is. He hacks up with all of his speeches. What are they saying? Praying for overwhelming violence.
Hey, and this all started after the Stephen Miller speech. Remember?
Oh, yep.
After that, the dragon, all that.
You have no idea the dragon you awakened.
Yep. And now we're seeing it.
Yeah, you see, when John saw, he might have saw an actual dragon, but what was it symbolizing?
Right.
You're seeing what's symbolizing. They're telling you who they are. But we're telling you who they are, but now they're coming out and telling you, because they, like our brother said, their enchantments aren't working anymore. So they got to go back to what they know. They got to go back to the blessing that they have.
He's going to get overwhelming violence when Yahweh Shai comes back.
That's right.
He's going to get his wish not the way he wants it to.
Hey, Revelation 18, that's what violence was Babylon taken down, cast down, like a great millstone.
That's it.
Yep. Verse 6, show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand, thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. So yeah, there's going to be new signs, man. Things that you haven't even read about.
Right.
Yahweh Shai said that you want to do things that he did and even greater. You know, hey, brothers get spiritual powers and fly. You ain't never seen that. You ain't never hear about that. I mean, the scriptures talk about it, but no actual individual actually flew before.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai did disappear and reappear, but you won't see multiple people doing that. Because guess what? On the left-hand side, this devil got new signs. He got his AI and all of his false miracles that he's doing that is deceiving the nations. So why would the Lord not raise up his right hand?
Right.
Verse 7, raise up indignation, pour out wrath, take away the adversary, and destroy the enemy. Now who is that? The church will tell you, oh, that's the Satan. They always say, oh, the enemy is trying to attack. Who's the enemy?
Right.
You know so much about this enemy, but you ain't naming them.
Right.
So this is what the men of the Lord came out to do, man. Shake their hands against the nobles. Make it plain, man. Then show that wicked be revealed. That's what's going to cause these devils to actually come and persecute us. Is because we, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, are actually calling them out in the name of the Lord, man. Which is not ambiguous. We're telling you exactly who the devil is, man. And the devil he ain't gonna like that. See how these Christians do it. The devil could be anybody.
Right.
Now the Satan could use anybody, but he has his particular seed that he works with, man. Because he told Yahweh Shai, what, if you want the kingdoms of the earth, what do you have to do? Worship me. What did Epstein Island show you? Why you think they're using the effigies of Baal over there burning up? You know, why they call him Great Satan over here? It's all plain, man. Throughout this whole thing, you ain't never hear Trump call Iran Satan.
Right.
But they're the ones that's getting called Satan, man. Verse 8, this is the point. It says, "Sake the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wondrous works. Let him that escape be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people." So this is a prayer, right? That what is this? So Yahweh Shai, right? Yeah, Yahweh Shai. He was literally praying for the destruction against particular people, against an adversary. So when you try to say, oh, the Bible is all about love and everybody, God loves everybody, then what was he talking about here? When you read the Psalms of David, he's speaking about destruction of his enemies. This Yahushua, right? He even talked about, I see Satan falling as lightning from heaven. He even said also what? That the God of this world, or the prince of this world cometh and he has nothing in me. And now it's come judgment and the prince of this world is cast out. Who do you think he's talking about? But if you don't have the understanding, you're just going to think he's just talking about, you know, some person with some red horns in his head, man. Nah, there is a spiritual demon saying, which he don't look like that. But you have the people on the earth is the ones that are disrupting this earth, man. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
The wicked.
Yep, the wicked.
That's our saying. It says that the greatest lie that the devil told is that he doesn't exist, something
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So people just walk around thinking that the devil is actually God, because he covered the faces of the judges thereof. He made people actually believe that the Most High, His Son, the angels all look like Him. That's the ultimate form of blasphemy, man. So the Most High got leprosy. The Most High looked like a wicked ass demon, like you. How? So that's why they in their minds, oh, the Lord is on our side. We could do all this. Or we could stomp on the Lord's people all we want, and nothing happens to us. Shit, as a matter of fact, we get even greater. We stomped on the Lord's people, and we got greater. So why should it stop now? That means the Lord is on our side. He's with us and undertaking our enterprise, man. That's not going to happen. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, man.
And you can see how this devil is waxing worse. You know, we read it, Wisdom of Solomon, 19th chapter, how that device made them, that plan made them go even harder on the left-hand side. And this is what this devil is doing now, because Trump beforehand, he wasn't talking about God.
Right.
So now you're actually trying to invoke a supreme being being tied to what you're doing. And then obviously you're making it seem as if it's the God of the Bible.
Right.
So you should have just stand with whatever enchantments that you was doing from the beginning. But now that you're trying to add as if the Most High is on your side with this, that's only going to infuriate the Lord even more. And the Lord is doing that purposely, just like how he hardened Pharaoh's heart to make him, you know, do what he was doing. The Lord is hardening this devil's heart, man. Just so he can actually have the wrath. What does it says in Romans the 9th chapter? The vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. The Lord is being long-suffering, and he's allowing you to get to this bold stage and be this prideful and then try to act like you're pious and all these things, just so the Lord can actually destroy you, because you're saying all these things, but your actions are doing the complete opposite. And that's why Yahushua, when he comes, he says, in righteousness do if you judge and make war. You're not doing that. You're going to see a righteous war. And it's going to be waged by Yahushua. You devils are doing the complete opposite, but you're saying that you're doing the righteous war, which is what? God being found in your mouth.
And they're using the scriptures to justify them doing all this wickedness. And they're doing it wrong. Calling the Iranians Amalek. How the fuck are they Amalek? You are Amalek. You know, and it's funny because they push this narrative of God and country and all these different, well, America was not even found on Christian values like they say. They say, oh, America's a Judeo-Christian. It's not a Judeo-Christian country. The founding fathers never, that's why they have the separation of church and state. They never brought this land into some form of, we're going to build it on Christian values. They're all Masons. Why the hell would, as a matter of fact,
There was a chart that showed, and when you look into, like, I guess Google, when you type in Judeo-Christian, and it will show you like the years on how popular it was from the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s. Well, I think it was like 16, 17, it was all like close to zero. And it started getting, that term started to become popularized, I think, toward the late, I think, around 1950. When Esau, when 1948, when you know, Amalek got involved more heavily into the whole system. That's when it became more and more popularized. Like how you were saying, in the early ages of America, that wasn't something that was going around.
as a matter of fact, we got proof of that, right? It says here, this is the clearly stated views of the America's founders. It says the government of the United States is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. Christianity neither is nor ever was a part of the common law. Religion and government exist in greater purity the less they are mixed together. So that the separation of church and state, we don't want religion and politics to be together. we are coming in to build our empire based on Freemasonic principles. We don't teach the Bible. We're not into the Bible. So the whole Bible thing was a deception that Esau used so he could blind the nations to think that he was from a moral, stand on a high ground by using the Bible.
Yeah, God we trust.
And God we trust. All that shit was just a facade for them to continue their wickedness, and then they'll be supported by the people around the world because, oh, it's a holy war. It's God. It's behind God. All this extra shit. And then the prophets come in, expose these devils, and now they running hot and scared talking about all in the name of God.
You said read it?
No, you go with it.
I was gonna say, basically, because when you said it's not built on Christian values, made me think about the whole thing with Hegseth saying that Trump is, what's the word he used? Anointed. He's anointed by God to bring on the war Armageddon. He's doing the same thing what old boy in the book of Eli was trying to do. That's exactly what they're doing. Using the Bible to get everybody on their side, because he said there's power in it. Because like brother said, if y'all wasn't using it, when your founding fathers did, y'all would talk about your founding fathers, but your founding fathers didn't do it. How all of a sudden are you talking about Armageddon and Jesus and praying for Jesus this, Jesus that? If all of a sudden you separating church, state and church and all that. But now all of a sudden you're saying that? That go to show the hypocrisy of this place, man. And how you gonna ask the Lord? Yeah, we pray for violence. The Lord is about violence, but the Lord is about violence in a righteous thing. You're not doing nothing righteous, and you're lying because you're saying that you're destroying the enemy. But here it is, you attack them first, and I don't know if your brothers heard, but they're saying that Iran just ignored or turned down another ceasefire. But how you said you was winning? You said y'all was all good. You said you decimating them. You said you ain't got nothing for the air. But yeah, they just shot down one or two F-35s. But you said the bitch said they have no air defense. But yeah, they just shot 2 of your F-35s down, and two of your and some of the pilots missed. Huh?
F-15.
F-15. Excuse me.
Black Hawk F-15, something called.
Yeah.
A-10. Yeah, Warhawk.
Yeah.
All that shit happened within 24 hours.
Right. like yesterday.
A couple days right after Trump said, we got complete air superiority over the skies of Iran. And the thing is, how the brother mentioned, he looked like he might have been on something. You come to the conclusion that he's a commander in chief, but he has really no idea what's really going on. And I seen some shit where they were saying how he's only being told, these councils, these advisors, and brother can hold Isaiah 19, they're only telling him what he wants to hear. Right. And that's why they started firing all these other people, because they want people that are aligned with the political Trump administration. They don't want people that actually know what's going on as a commander, as like military people. They want people that are just going to be like, tell him what he wants to hear, tell him this, tell him that, tell him things are going good. So when Trump goes up there just being a puppet, all he just is just regurgitating what they're telling him. So then now he's being made look stupid because he's the face of it, and he goes up there and say, oh yeah, we have complete air superiority, and then 24 hours later, come to find out, you can't even fly around there. So then now what do you want to say? And that's why you got to have P. Hegseth saying, you're going to spin it like, are you going to address the fact that y'all said that? Or are you just going to just say that, you're lying? Like that, like what, you're looking to be made to look foolish, man. The Lord is really taking you out bad if you really like see it, man.
13 generals.
Because you're coming out talking about we're the most powerful, this and that. And you're not even fighting a superpower.
Right.
And you having problems.
Big problem.
What happens when Ezekiel 38 gets full-fledged? Mm-hmm. And you're already losing munition. You're already, depleting that's why they want to do a 48-hour ceasefire. You try to get more air defense and shit like that. But the Iranians said, we don't need that. You already bombed us. What we need to stop for?
They just said something about the budget of something $1 trillion.
Yeah, Trump 1.5, yeah.
For war, I think it was for war. I forgot what the word was. But it's basically said for war something, but basically it's like a wartime enactment, which goes to show you that they're moving into a war mindset.
Yeah, right.
And as it says in Ecclesiastes, there's only a time for war or peace. You can't have both. And if you need $1.5 trillion, that obviously shows you what time we're in.
Right.
That's when they start their shift towards the Western Hemisphere, because they still have to conquer the northern, the north, the mid, and the southern part of the Western Hemisphere, from Greenland all the way down to
Trump drew a map, including Greenland, the Canada. They call it the Greater North America.
Yeah. That shit. So that's gonna be the next thing. So that 1.5 trillion is more of okay. Now we got the Eastern Hemisphere stuff going on. Now we're finna go after these Latin American countries, and then ultimately
That's why he's saying Cuba's next.
Cuba's next. You know, it's not. He's not just saying these things. This is part of their script that they're following, and they're putting it out there because it's something known as predictive programming. They also have something known as the revelation of the method. So they show you before they do it, so that way you can't say, "Oh, we didn't know," because you did know. You just did nothing about it. You know.
And you know something is up. I got you, Ashad. You know you had a point, because Iran said they're rejecting these because they don't want a short ceasefire. They want a permanent end to the war. So if your goal is peace, why are you not down with that? Why not make a deal on that? You keep pushing, no, ceasefire. They're like, well, ceasefire is temporary. Well, we want to end to the whole war. No, we can't have that now. You got it, bro.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. And also, I want to mention about the F-15. Scott Ritter mentioned that the only other time an F-15 got taken down was during Operation Desert Storm. So the F-15 being taken out, that's meant to evade air defenses. So that would indicate that basically what they're saying is that they got to upgrade. Maybe Russia or China probably popped up in there with some new shit. So they're not a superpower, but they got two superpowers behind them. So that's enough. And they say, yeah, they don't have a nuke, but okay, Russia could just go park one in there. Now what? It doesn't matter because it's Ezekiel 38. They're a guard unto them.
And China and Russia and Turkey been communicating a lot more recently.
Yep.
You got Isaiah 19, I think it was around, the princes. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 11. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh has become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Yeah. So you over here, these counselors of Trump, right, modern day Pharaoh, right, they're supposed to be giving him some good intel. Remember, America's supposed to have the best central intelligence, right, with Mossad and the 48ers, but yet y'all still can't even. First, I remember the first week or maybe the second week, they said that they knocked out 90% of their ballistic missile defenses. Yeah. Last week, the intelligence agency just said, we really think it's only 1/3. So you went from 90% to only now they still got 67%. That means they said that we're ready to go for fight this war for a long haul. They didn't say, oh yeah, we only got a month involved. That's why they say they don't need to do a ceasefire. So your intelligence is clearly lacking. And as the Lord said, where is the wise men? Where are your counselors at? Y'all are foolish, y'all are brutish. You took Pete Hegseth, which was a TV personality. He was a TV personality. And you get coached to do that. You got to go to classes every day. His job was you got to put makeup on. When you on TV on Fox, you got to get dapped up. And that's what you was, man. And because you can, I guess they thought you can, make it sound good. Like, oh yeah, I want Pete, and Pete's good. This guy, he don't have no clue what he's doing. And it's funny because I know somebody in the military, and I mentioned him, and I was like, can't say nothing. But you said enough when you just said that. Remember, that's everybody in the military. That's their boss.
You can't stand that.
That's their boss. Everybody in the military. He is the highest person in the military chain. He's right underneath the commander in chief. So it's like you can't even say shit, but you know that this nigga is not fit for this job, man. But instead of him stepping down, he gonna fire everybody else around him.
It's like I'm not caught up, but there's a season in The Boys where Homelander put the Deep in charge of the intelligence. And then fired everybody but put that one Indian chick. What the fuck? Like, bro.
Yep. And that goes to show you just how how unwise
right? And really, he's troubling his own house.
Yep.
You're not ruling like with prudence, man. It's kind of like with was it Rehoboam? Was it that he hearkened into the younger counselors?
Yep.
That's what, and what ended up happening? Chaos, man.
Complete.
Chaos in the house.
And Hexeth actually he had some funny shit going on in his personal life that he didn't reveal when it came time for Trump to make the announcement that he was going to pick him. Right, he had some domestic issues that was a taint on his career if he was to show that, yo, this is what you did. He had a wife, he had another wife, he was cheating. The second wife was about to give birth. She gave birth 2 months later. This nigga cheating, doing this, domestic violence. He had to do a settlement. All these different things this nigga was doing. He got tattoos all over him. So I'm like, yo, dude, they're not professional. There's a video that came out where he was like in a small little pool and he had his shirt on, wet, water dripping all over himself. He got a bottle of alcohol. He chugs it and then he starts drinking the pool water. I'm like, what is this nasty looking fucking fraternity boy looking ass nigga doing over here, man?
The same shit when he was at a college game.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah,
he was
doing
drunk,
the
yeah,
gritty
he was
shit.
drunk, yeah. And he was drinking, he was drunk. They say he was a drunk.
Yeah. And this is your Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War is what they call him now, right? But they didn't go through Congress to even make that change. So it's still really technically Secretary of Defense, but based on what they're saying, like they said they're going to change the Gulf of
Mexico.
They're going to change the Gulf of
America.
They want to make it to the Gulf of Trump if he had the chance, you know. But
Wait,
these are,
Trump said he gonna own part of the strait. he said, who's gonna own the strait? Me, maybe me.
yo,
He gonna have the Trump Gaza. This nigga, he trying to put his name on everything.
Yup. You got. I think they said they're coming out with a new currency or a bill or something that's gonna have Trump on
I
it.
think it's 250. I think
Yeah,
it's
250
bill.
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Trump on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the signs are there. The pride before the fall, man. It's all there.
Well, you know, the scriptures say that, I forgot what chapter it's in, but basically when they try to go up to the moon or whatever, then shall I bring them down.
Oh, that's Obadiah.
Obadiah.
Yeah.
And I just saw this made me think about it, where they said Artemis 2 is now closer to the moon than Earth. And I'm like, the timing is real interesting, you know, that they did this whole launch thing to go up into, quote unquote, this according to that, you know, to go up into space and shit.
And Artemis, I believe if you look it up, that's a Greek goddess.
Yep.
I don't know what she represents, but look it up. But war, she represents war. So right there goes to show you what spirit they're in right now, man.
Twin sister of Apollo.
Oh,
Apollo
was
was
the first one.
It says Greek goddess of the moon. The moon. That was wild animals, hunting, childbirth, etc. Identified by the Romans with their Diana. That's in the scriptures. Diana of Ephesus, right? It says daughter of Zeus and Leto, twin sister of Apollo. Her name is of unknown origin.
You know, that's interesting, Salakia, because as of late, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, like in TV shows, movies, that have to do with twins. I just watched a movie, Ready or Not 2, and the two main characters were twins. In this movie I just watched last night, and they did like basically, they weren't twins, but they basically did like a same version of the person, like basically a clone type shit. So it's interesting now that they said this, where she's a twin sister of Apollo. Because it's all about the twins. It's all about the
Yep.
And now we're at a position where you got two people saying they're the same the same tribe.
Yeah.
So now we're about to find out who's real and who's the artificial one, who's fake. Who's the twin? Who's the evil twin?
Yup. You had some.
Oh yeah, on something interesting about Artemis here. It said here the powers and domain known as Potnia Theron, mistress of animals. She governs wild places and vegetation, protects childbearing women, and brings sudden death or disease to women with her arrows, alongside bringing health.
So just like exactly what.
Role in mythology, she is a virgin deity. Virgin daughter.
Virgin daughter, yeah.
And as this, like you said, in Obadiah, it says what they're going up into the heavens. Then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right. So they're coming up with all these names and grand. Again, going back to the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee.
you know what's funny too? They said that the guy, the Jake that's in that shit, they said that he could very well be the greatest astronaut of all time. And this is the first time that they have a Jake. And essentially they have a Jake man, because they usually use women if they don't use a Jake. They have a Jake man that so-called going up there too. So it goes to show you that these devils, they know, even when they gotta use Jake some way, somehow, man. But they may, you never know, they may use that shit as a sacrifice. When they try to come back down, they may blow that shit up. They have to sacrifice him, and say might have told him, you need the blood of a Jacob, the blood of a woman. Because I think it says it's the first woman that's going up there as well. So that whole shit may be a ritual.
Yeah.
When they come back down, they may have that shit just explode.
Yeah, why now?
Because one of the guys who was on that crew that's gonna be going up there, so-called going up there, I was playing the video yesterday, he was saying a whole bunch of weird shit. And he said it's gonna be magical. I don't know why I keep saying magical. He said it's gonna be magical. You know, he said one thing I hope for is that generations down the line, they're not gonna remember this. They're not gonna remember us. I'm like, why are you saying all this dumbass shit? He's like, and we're gonna be going to the moon for the first time. I'm like, why? I thought y'all did that already. Like, what happened? Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that they were saying that wasn't making sense. But I was like, well, it makes sense to us because we know all that shit was all a stage. Right? What's his name? Stanley Kubrick. He used his studio to create that whole scene of the moon landing. It was all fake. You know, it was all fake. That's why now they say, oh, we're gonna go back to the moon. We did it years ago. We just the technology. Yeah, the technology that we have back there, we still don't got it. We gotta rebuild everything. And this nigga comes out and says, oh, we're gonna go to the moon for the first time, and you know, we don't know what to expect, but we hope it's gonna be good. And you know, we're not gonna have any connection up there, but we hope to make a connection up. But like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? I'm gonna see if I can put the video up so you guys can see it. But this is what they do. It's all a whole bunch of confusion because we at the end now.
It's
All right.
enchantments. That's just what they say. You got to stand in 9 enchantments.
Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts has purposed upon Egypt.
Right. So where's your wise men that to tell you what's really about to happen? Because what they're telling Trump is that they're about to win. And we've already won. We have so much success. No? You know, we got success, we doing this, we got this amount of superiority, decimated, obliterated, all these words. But yet y'all losing. But yet you getting mad at NATO for not helping out. You asking for a ceasefire. You doing all these things, so they should be telling you what the Lord has purposed. But see, they're not going to tell you that because they don't know. They're deceived just like how you deceived. But the Lord has it being brought up by who? His servants, the prophets. The prophets are the ones, right, as it says in 1 Corinthians, that he used the things that are not to bring down the things that are. So that's what's happening. And time, soon enough, and people are already starting to see it, right? People that we know personally, they already see how what we have been saying through the Spirit is actually manifesting. But the time is going to come where everybody's going to see it.
Understand.
Everybody's going to see that, oh, these guys, what they said, it's happening. That's why the scripture says, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. And once again, that's all for the glorification of Yahweh Ba'ashem Nawashad. Because we know it's not of us. We didn't come up with these words. We didn't come up with this thought. This is the Lord's thought. This is his word. And he said what? My word does not return to me void. I'm going to make y'all witnesses into it. Just like how he told the disciples, Yahweh Shah, that y'all are witnesses to these things. Go and spread the gospel. Go and spread the news. And they saw it. That's why they went so hard. That's why Peter went so hard, all the disciples, because they can't deny what they saw. They can't deny the fact that they saw Yahweh Shai die. And then they saw him raised back up. Yep. But Yahweh Shai said what? Blessed are they that believe and have not seen. So we're in a time where it's even a higher, we are in a higher position. That's why, Lord willing, we're going to be the ones in this generation to receive that promise.
It said those that wait upon me should not be ashamed.
Yep.
Hey, go back to the point that you made about how Trump is being misinformed by all these people around him. He got all these yes men, but they tell you all these things that's not real. You know, right? You know that there are prophets on this earth, and they've told you said it on Joe Rogan's podcast. You know, there are prophets on this earth that say that the world's gonna come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right?
You know that.
You know that, right? So you know that. You know that. You said
He's
that.
dead serious.
Right.
know
So
that,
then why
right?
do you pretend like you don't know what the hell is going on when you know?
Show to the wicked.
There you go. You know, and you got all these yes men around you telling you all this bullshit, and then you come up on TV and say this bullshit. And then you say, oh, we got power over the seas, over the air, and all this. Your air carrier get blown up. You run back to, hey, we got to go 20 miles away and go fix this shit. You know, the laundry room got caught on fire. Oh, really? And then, oh, the fighter jets, we gonna go rescue, quick, you out of there. You're like, oh shit, like, oh, F-15 got knocked down? Well, that's the same shit, F-15s and F-35s that Hexeth was saying that CNN should be reporting on how hard it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I mean, when you report on how to refuel,
Yeah.
when you report on the job that you're supposed to be doing, it's like that doesn't concern the American people.
you know, like, we don't care. They don't care. Why should that be something that the news should be reporting on? Oh, it's very difficult for pilots to be flying. They're trained for that. What do you mean? They're trained for that, man. So that's their job. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, why are you not reporting on the president's daily meals? That should be what the like, who the fuck care about that shit? We want to know what's actually going on. And Trump is not being informed. So what's going to happen? When the reality sets in, he's going to be filled with dread. That's prophecy. Let's get that. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 33, it says, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among the kings. Okay, so you're gonna have things that's going on where they're gonna be like, wait, but I thought this was actually happening. Why is this? And then they're not gonna have an answer to give. And what's gonna happen is these power nations that are involved are gonna be like, well, we did this based on intel that y'all gave us, but like the reality is saying something completely different. That's the strife. And when that strife picks up even more, what's gonna happen? Our economy is messed up because of the decisions that you came up and we made us do. And this is happening because of this. And this. What's gonna happen? They're gonna shoot. They're gonna eat her flesh with fire. That's what's gonna happen. You know, all they that were confederate with thee have brought thee even to the border. What do you think they're gonna be doing at the border? It's war.
Yep. Hey, and the whole thing with these acts that we just said, that goes to show you they're about to cut the narrative from anybody else having to say anything.
Yep.
Remember, it was the Nvidia guy, and then also Elon Musk said that it could be by the end of this year that 90% of all things consumed, like all, I guess, the media or whatever is consumed could be AI.
Yeah.
So they could just have the they can just, because remember, he just had what's your guy, Larry, he just bought CNN. Yeah, so if he bought CNN, they can take the call and say, you know what, we're going to just have an AI to bring out the information. You already know your guy Rupert, he's still on Fox. So he got the other side. So everybody that now is in step in line with Trump administration, they own the media. You remember what BB said? Oh yeah, well, we gotta fight the eighth front, right? We call it the woke right. We got TikTok. That was a big purchase. Elon's an ally.
Yep.
They already got Zuckerberg with Instagram, with Meta, and now I know they already Google, YouTube. They already got them niggas in their pocket. So soon enough, like how Elon said, 90, it's gonna be 100%. Really, only 10% that it won't be AI is gonna be from them.
Yep.
It's gonna be actually from them, and that's gonna usher in what the famine of the word
And the beast system.
and the beast. Yep. Because once you don't have actual information, is important, man. That's what the Lord said. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding shall be the stability of thy times. If you're not informed on what's going on in the true information, you're gonna be completely lost. And then you're gonna be told something because you're gonna be confused and you're gonna want to believe that. So these devils are gonna be able to come out and say whatever they want to say, and you're gonna believe it. And this is why when they go out and they have their little press conferences, all they do is attack the media.
Yeah.
They don't say, you know what, we've said this, but then, you know, that wasn't right. We need to rectify that. And, you know, like, they don't say none of that. They don't never take accountability for giving misinformation. They don't never give accountability for saying, you know what, we were wrong. And they don't do that because they can't be humble. They can't, their pride won't let them say, you know what, we was wrong. even, and that goes all the way up to who came, man. He never say, oh, you had to say, well, yeah, I did, you know what, I knew it was right. That was my bad. But not the Lord said that. God do what's right without not being accepted. But he could have told Jacob, Esau could have told Isaac, I sold the birthright. Isaac could have been like, no, I'm going to bless you at the same time. But no, you just, I'm going to kill this man. Like, yo, your mind is just like, damn, you just wax worse. But that's what the scripture says. The wicked falleth into mischief, man.
As he, Psalms 11 and 5, you know, dealing with Pete, it says, Yehovah Hashem Yahushua trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth.
You got it.
See, yeah, so he's talking about overwhelming violence, and like you said, that, you know, it's righteous violence that the Lord is bringing. That's righteous indignation, but the way they're doing it is just for greed and resources. There's no basis of righteousness in what they're doing. That's why it says, and I think it's Psalm 50, that they take their the covenant, but they hide it behind their back. You know, basically, you know, you want to take this in your hand, but the actual actions and the actual ways of righteousness, you're not applying it at all. You're doing the opposite. So the Lord said what? That the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, all right, which Hegseth is a part of that, Trump is a part of that, the Rothschilds are a part of that, okay? And him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. So Yehovah Hashem Yahushua hates you. His soul hateth, man. That's a deep hatred right there, okay? Because why? Because you love violence. You pride yourself on violence. You see? We praying for deliverance, and we know that we are also praying for the Lord to bring judgment upon you. But notice the words that we use: judgment. You know, that means that it's a fair, equitable. This is from the Lord. We not just violence for no reason. No, it's tied to righteous, fair, equitable ways of Yehovah Hashem Yahushua, man. It ain't just violence just for the sake of we just gotta kill. You know, a bunch of people gotta die. The reason why people gotta die is because they're wicked. And because the Lord has rejected them. That's why. Not just because we want their resources. All right? You know, it's because we going according to the Lord's will.
It's like Thanos in Avengers. He had a righteous reason for what he was doing. But then you have none but chaos in the world, and Iron Man want to just keep it like that. Man, he has all that money, all the riches. He could have used all of that talent and all his technology to fix shit. But nah, he just want to use it to make fucking a suit. Bomb shit.
And all these people. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say in the second one, he said he wanted to make a suit of armor around the world. That was essentially Ultron.
Right. Yep.
That's it.
And look what happened. And what is Ultron? AI.
Yep.
Stark Industries, when in the movie, they were going and bombing all these other people in these other countries. So that's like insert one of these military industrial companies. You know?
Hey, even in the boys. If Esau had spiritual power, he would be like Homeland.
Yo, hell, definitely.
That would be Homeland.
Shit.
That's what that show basically is.
There, that's Esau having spiritual power.
That's what he get. I wanted to bring something up because with all this going on, we talk about all these AI automated shit. So like, I follow this biometricupdate.com, right? So I heard about this a little ways back, but I guess they finally rolling out because it's the timing is impeccable with all the digital ID, facial recognition, and all that with this war stuff because it's in sequential orders. Like, all right, now that that's happening, that's why the war is getting more intense. So the judgment going to come once they bring out the MOTB. So it says Guyana brings Digital ID Act into force, launches nationwide rollout. This is from April 2nd, which was what, 2 days ago? Mm-hmm. It said Guyana's Digital Identity Card Act has officially come into force with Prime Minister Mark Phillips confirming the legislation took effect on Tuesday. They're moving quick. The act paves the way for the nationwide rollout of a new electronic identification system. Phillips said the government has already met the foundational requirements set out in the act, so they about to bring this out. So how much longer until it goes to other countries and then they have it to where you gotta get the shit in your skin? That's where we're headed. That's why it has to be soon. And that's why when the chip comes out, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a short amount of time afterward. Because how brothers are gonna be able to live? They're gonna have drones flying around. You don't have the chip, you don't have a chip, but it's gonna be, you're not gonna have no access nowhere. You're not gonna be going to food shopping. How you think the Lord gonna let us rock like that for years? It ain't gonna be just mad years. You think it's gonna be mad years? Oh yeah, this person's born now. You get your MOTB. Nah. It's gonna be they bring it out, they mandate it, and then bombs still going. Yo, China, Russia, Iran, South Korea, North Korea, everybody just rocking. And then somebody's gonna use a nuke. And then somebody gonna send nukes over here. That's how the story goes. That's how the Lord said it. But that's pretty much it though. So like, just go to the MOTB system getting more and more pushed.
And hey, I think it was Ghana that you were talking about how they also have the same thing. Like they tied the people's IDs digitally to their financial bank accounts. So that's actually happening. When you follow biometric updates, they have that all around the world. You'll be like, oh, Sri Lanka is doing this. Oh, Nigeria is doing this. Oh, Poland is doing this. And it's like every day, you got all these countries going onto this digital grid of identification and biometrics through identification and monetary means, your banks and everything being tied to your ID. So that's the beast system structure being set up, and it's not going to take long. Once the system is set up, there's not much that they need to do. Just bring in the crisis that leads. It's like CV. They got the QR code thing. Prior to CV, people weren't thinking about that, right? Oh, you have to have your you got to scan it to prove that you took a jump shot. Same thing that's coming, but this time it's all digital. You know, it's all digital, but the infrastructure is already there, man. Just need that crisis to be justified in using this infrastructure, to force people onto that infrastructure. Everything will move that much faster. All right.
It's funny. Just add on to that. Just popped up, and the brother we did a couple days ago, right? He said that. Yeah. So it just popped up my feed from Sovereignty AI on Instagram. It says Bill Gates says linking biometric ID to bank accounts and payment systems is essential for tackling climate problems.
Right.
And the climate been a little weird because it's cold as hell. What? It was cold yesterday, right? And then it was warm again. And
I listened to that because he was in India when you mentioned that.
India,
He's basically selling a pitch on how you're going to basically need digital ID for like your health and all these shits because of the climate. Because the climate is going to basically make healthcare worse. But that goes to show you that these devils, because you had the whole shit with the Epstein shit. And he's like basically fell out the limelight. This nigga took his ass over there to India. He was like, you know what? let me just tell y'all niggas what we about to do over here.
Rich nigga at that.
Because I can't fuck the niggas in America ain't fucking with me no more.
And the British nation at that.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
It's crazy.
And India got a vast population too, so
Right.
it makes sense why they're gonna start with them.
And their climate is bad over there. There's so much pollution. Like, so they definitely, you know, them niggas. A lot of these heathens. Remember, Esau is the basis of the heathen, but right now the Lord got him a little wise. So these other heathens, they just eat it all up.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill Gates came here. They just gonna eat up whatever he says, man.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. You got more than
Yeah, no. Psalms 11 and 6. And that's the title what you just said about the MOTB and then the judgment coming. It says, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you go into the margin here for horrible tempest, it says burning tempest. Basically a burning fiery storm of judgment, man. Fire and brimstone, that's what the Lord is bringing to you. And when you think of fire and brimstone, what do you think about? Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing's about to happen here. Why? Because the previous verse said what? He hates you because you love violence. So if anybody has any doubt about who Esau Edom is, you know, you ain't playing with a full deck at this point. All right, if you still talking about them dudes that talking about that the white man is Japheth, them dudes has disappeared. They fell off the map. You know, they fell into a black hole. They're not here no more because you look real stupid saying that now, especially seeing the amount of violence and how he's using the sword, man. It's plain to see who the wicked is, man. This dude is lying in the same sentence he lies, man. And that's the thing about when you lie that much, you create a web of lies, and nobody is that intelligent to keep up with all them lies or has that good of a memory to keep remembering all the lies. Because then you got to remember, I got to stick to the same story I've been saying. So if you lie that much, you got to be you got to have the best memory of all. And meanwhile, the Lord said, what? I'm taking wisdom from Teman. So the same enchantments and the same lies they was able to peddle for, like, example, Iraq and Afghanistan, that shit is not flying now. And on top of it, the Lord is taking that wisdom, so he's purposely making you look stupid, making it to where you can't even make the shit look good. You can't even attempt to actually make it appealing to the people. You lying so much, it's like he lies in the same sentence he contradicts himself.
And that's why his media was so important. You know, we always break it down. The word media goes into medium, which is, basically goes into what? Sources, witchcraft. So his media was so important for his ability to deceive, his enchantments. But the fact that now his media, he lost control of that. He lost control of the fact that the ability to control 100% the media. So now he's being made to be look stupid, as it says in Habakkuk. He's going to make the nations. He's going to be a gazing stock into the nations.
Right.
Because how are the nations seeing this? Through the media. That's how they're seeing it, through the TV. That's how they're seeing. That's why Trump can say something, and then immediately Iran can say, no, we don't want no ceasefire.
Yep.
And then now he says, oh, they need to get better PR people. And what the fuck that got to do with the fact that they just said that they're not doing it?
They getting caught in lies because
They need better public relations. No, you need better public relations. Your public relations is waxing worse right now. And it's because, once again, the truth, as it says in 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, brother can get that your deceit is quenched. But while your brother get that, some quick post that says, senior Israeli defense official says the 48ers preparing to attack Iranian energy facilities, awaiting green light from the U.S. So they're at the point, Trump just said, we're 48 hours, right? So they're at the point where now they're about to commit this war crime.
Yep.
They're saying that we're preparing to strike their energy facilities. When Trump talks about knocking them out to the Stone Ages, he's going to destroy the whole country. You're talking about destroying the whole. It's not like it's a small fucking country.
Right.
This country is 2/3 the size of America, or 1/3 the size of America. It's bigger than Europe. The little area that they said where the pilot went missing, they said that region is the size of New Jersey. So that think about trying to find somebody in New Jersey. That's what they were trying to do.
Right. No wonder they got shot down again.
they got that mountains too in Iran.
Where's Waldo? That's what they're doing right now. So if you're knocking out their energy facility, that's almost 100 million people that you're about to basically fuck over.
I thought they loved the Iranians though.
Right.
Didn't they
But we're
say,
doing this for the Iranians,
take
the
your country
liberators.
back?
To liberate.
We stand with you.
They're not
Dark,
gonna have a
huh?
country to take back.
Yeah.
It's twice the size of Texas.
Yeah, Texas is big as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So if they do that,
Right.
that right there can easily be a reason why God says, you know what, we got to defend them now.
Yeah.
We got to step in because you knocked out their energy. So all they really have at that point is whatever they got underground.
It says covers a larger area than France, Germany, Spain, and the UK combined.
Damn.
And if you don't have, that's going to cause crazy global tension, man, turmoil. Because they're going to wild out.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're going to wild out.
Oh, yeah. Raging in wrath.
Like that wild boy.
Oh, boy.
Because at that point, what else they got? They have literally nothing else to lose.
Yo, that dude, I don't know if you finished, bro.
Yeah.
The guy, remember the Moabite spokesman doing like trade wars, terror wars? He basically said if the small hats attack Iran or any country with a nuclear weapon, he said they will cease from existing to be a state. And remember, the brother mentioned Ezekiel 38. Remember, it's not just Gog and Magog. It said a great company with them. So all the other nations, China, the Africans, so you're gonna have European allies. Because I want to say Turkey being part of the all that. They talk about signing with Iran. Why is that? Why is they talking about these 3 EU countries you can't fly through their airspace? Why is that? You're supposed to be allies. That's not something an ally would do. Because they know that you were fucked up for what you did. And you talking about all this, we're doing this, and then coming at the media, but you attacked them first, and everybody knows it. You attacked them on February 28th, 2026. That date is what you did it. And that's when everybody was like, yo, we didn't want that to happen. American citizens didn't want that to happen. You got firing 13 U.S. generals? Come on, that's not a good time to be firing generals.
And you did it while you was in the midst of a third negotiation.
Right.
Yeah. Right before you did it, the Oman foreign minister, which was a prime mediator, he went on news. I think it was Newsweek, if I'm not mistaken, or one of those. It was an American media press, and he actually did a one-on-one with the chick, and he was saying that I'm doing this because we are very close to a deal. The Iranians they already said that they will not have nuclear weapons. They've already came to that. So the things that all I'm asking for is more time. And I sincerely believe that we can come to an agreement. We just need a little bit more time. Literally, I think that was like on a Wednesday or Thursday. On that Saturday or Friday night, whatever, the niggas bombed it. Boom.
Damn. So that just capped.
And he did another interview. I don't know if it was with Russia Today, but I saw it in Russia Today. He did another interview. I think like the second week. He basically said like, Americans, like, they had no reason to do this.
Okay.
Like they shouldn't have done this at all. This was a war crime. Like this is an international crime. They had no reason to do this. This is the main immediate. So what are you gonna say at that point? What are you gonna say at that point? That's why the whole narrative of, oh, we had to do this, Iran can't get nuclear weapons, or they're not gonna have like, you don't hear them say that no more. Now it's a whole shit. Are we going? I think I heard him say the other day, we're gonna go take the oil and we're gonna make a fortune.
Yep.
That's what he said. That's what Trump said. We're gonna take the trade our moves, we're gonna take the oil, and we're gonna make a fortune.
Right.
That's the same thing he said about Venezuela.
Yeah.
What happened to the drugs? The drug boats.
Right.
They just disappeared.
Hey, there's no more drug boats.
The protests in
He
Iran.
was to be on trial in Europe back in March. What happened with that? It's like nothing is going on with all that because it was all bullshit. It was all false pretense to begin with. Just like everything else they do. Every false flag, everything, including the crisis that's about to hit here, is all going to be done on false pretense, man. And that's why, like the Supreme was saying, they have all these lies, and as you also mentioned, they have all these lies that they keep peddling. But in order for that peddling to continue, they have to do away with the truth. But then we just read in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter that we're about to read. I think you got that on deck. Right. That the truth is now. It's now time for the truth to flourish. So that means that it's quenching the lies. The peddling of that's why it's not working. That's why it's not working. You can use all your mediums, your witchcrafts, your enchantments. It's not working. You can use your satellite, whatever. It's not going to work. All right. Now is the time for the Lord to work. All right. That means your play is done.
Short season ended.
Quick one right before you get that. It lines up. Psalms 144 verse 7. Send thy hand from above, rid me, and deliver me out of the great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and in their right hand is the right hand of falsehoods. So who is that speaking of? That's how this stuff. We're laying it out, right? In Psalms 50, I think it's 55 in the NLT, it tells that the Lord said, "Well, I'm going to lay all of my charges that I have against you." This is what the Lord is doing right now through the Spirit of His mouth. You're on trial. I think in Proverbs, the 15th chapter, it says that a man seemeth right until the cross-examination comes. And for a long time, you just had the matter. You were just on the podium or whatever they call that shit in the court.
Calling shots.
Yeah, you were just the one that was just speaking. Nobody else was speaking because you what deceived the nations. And the Lord also had His men, the prophets. We were in a state of sleep, but He awakened us. And at that point, now we have been called as witnesses to this court. And now you're being cross-examined. And then what's going to happen on the day of the Lord? He said, what? The books will open. And the court is in session now.
Right.
Now comes the judgment. The Lord gets to see what we're saying. He gets to see what you're saying. The inquisition being made. Now it's going to be weighed in the balance. You know, in the court, they have the little shit. Now it's going to be weighed in the balance. And you're found wanting.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
6.
Yes, sir. This book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and 27, and it reads, "For evil shall be removed, and deceit shall be abolished. But faith shall flourish, and unfaithfulness shall be overcome."
Yep,
And
faith, man. That's what this is all about. This is about, and this is something that they didn't want you, Israel, to have. They didn't want you to have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They didn't want you to have faith in your God, man. In the movie Ready or Not 2, when like I said, I saw it, there was a part in it where basically those were satanic worshipers, and they had the Edomites family was the chief house, and the situation happened, and the girl, she basically, the protagonist, she basically gave up hope. Like she got to a point where she felt like she just wasn't going to win, and then one of the girls, she was trying to tell her, like, no, like, you should keep fighting. And then she was like, all right, you guys took everything from me, I have no more hope. And then the girl said, yeah, we're really good at that, taking hope.
Man.
And I'm just like, it's interesting because her sister, her name was Grace, the protagonist, and her sister name was Faith.
Wow.
And it was because of her sister she was able to. She kept fighting.
Grace.
Because she was gonna get quit, but her sister, they basically had her sister, so she said she had to keep fighting because of her sister for faith. And I'm like, yo, these ain't see these devils, man. They
Those
just-
names, those two names, those words.
Mhm. But that's what this devil does. He chokes your hope out. That's what he does. So all you now have hope is in his world, in his society, and that's why you see Jake don't want this place to go down, because in their mind that their hope is gone. All their hope is just in this world. But as Paul said, if we only got hope in this world, we're most miserable, man. And you see people, Jake, y'all have a miserable state. Y'all got this false sense of idea of that. Oh, it's going to get better. We're going to have this idea of being on top. You're never going to get there, man. You're like a hamster in a hamster wheel. You're running fast nowhere.
And there was a Jake, the brother posted, she basically saying, she basically denouncing the whole American dream now. Hold up. Let me see. Hold up.
In that case, even I know we don't have 10 plus years on this earth. Believing in Jesus Christ, we don't have 10 plus years on this earth. I don't understand, what are y'all trying to like work for all this money for to become the what? Top 1%? That shit over with. It's over with. You done. We're done. We might as well just sit and wait for the Lord to come back. Like, let's be honest. Y'all trying to hurry up and get rich real quick once you have a couple months. Like, no shade, but like, bro, come on now. We might as well just lock it in. Lock it in, nigga.
So, now this is one of the most ratchet chicks, but look what she was saying though. She's like, yo, what you trying to get rich for? Well, in a couple months? If you look at what, I was like this. People talk about getting rich, right? But look at how rich people is moving right now. They talk about the dude from Palantir got some bunker in Miami, and his neighbors are Jeff Bezos and some other billionaire. They got bunkers all over the earth. Why do rich people go underground? Who said they would be going underground? Then the scriptures say that, the rich people gonna go in the clefts of the rocks and in the mountains underground, right? So hide from what? From the wrath of him that sitteth on the throne. That's the Lord. So that means that they know that the Lord is real and they know he's coming back soon. Because all of a sudden, yo, we need to start going underground now. Civil unrest, nuclear war, nuclear annihilation on the brinks, climate shit, just madness on the earth, man. Just like how the Lord said, yo, this is the time where the Lord said, yo, when he comes back, the Lord is coming back to straight chaos. The Lord is bringing the peace on earth. He's coming to bring the peace back. The chaos is on the earth right now. The madness, all this insane shit, all neighbor against neighbor, daughter, you know what I'm saying, household against house, all that shit is all happening right now. So when Yahushua comes back, he's coming back to bring back the order and bring back the peace. He's not coming back to a peaceful kingdom. He come back to this straight shithole and gonna make it, but this place is gonna be completely annihilated. But the rest of the earth too. You think when America is destroyed, that China, Russia, all these countries gonna be able to activate the same? Remember, this is the whore that the nation was made rich. So I mean they're gonna lose their riches once America is destroyed. And they're gonna be destroy America. The Lord gonna have them destroy what made them rich. You see how that worked?
Right.
And if I may add to the elder, that's why you see a lot of times you be like, damn, Putin, like, why are you tolerating this bullshit? Like you said, they still getting money. So they're looking at it like from a financial aspect of like, how can we make this shit right? How can we still work it out? But the whore is so belligerent that it's like, damn, I don't know what to do with this bitch at this point.
Bitch acting stupid.
Yeah, this bitch just lost it on me. You know, I lost this bitch. Y'all know she out there doing all types of shit. I can't control her no more. I can't control my hoe no more. You know? So that's how it's getting to that point now where it's like, damn, like, yo, beyond the money. That's why I said Isaiah 13, you can't give them the needs silver and gold and things like that. It's not gonna suffice. The disrespect and the wickedness is just at a point where even other Edomite nations are like, yo, that's too much, nigga.
Shut the whore.
They don't even have the means to get in. $40 trillion in debt.
Right.
You don't even got money to give.
Right.
You finish that out, man.
2nd Ezra 6:28, continuing, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared.
Yep. And that's what's happening right now, man. And that's why the whole world is being turned upside down now. Well, it's already upside down, but it's being unraveled. Your world, your house of cards is falling because truth is being declared. You created a world of lies, and what is the kryptonite of lies? Truth. And once the truth comes out, you can't go back in. Once you, brother said, once you see the skirt lifted, you already seen what that thing look like. You already got the idea.
Because that's what happens when you declare something, you make it clear. And we're in the midst of Babylon, which is all confusion. So the truth is what deconfuses you, basically. Right? It takes away that, it makes everything clear. So now, like Professor Jen, he said, I had to be a conspiracy theorist to have a clearer understanding of world current events. You know? So soon it's going to be, I have to be a biblical scholar to understand the world from the lens of prophecy. Like, what is actually going on? Like, what actually matters is the Bible, the biblical words of the Heavenly Father. That's the only thing that really matters, because we're seeing it playing out, like we said, the reality of prophecy.
And most people don't, and they're not gonna be able to get the understanding on their own. And that's why this devil's coming out with this whole Jesus Christ God narrative. They talking about Armageddon. That's how you know we close. They came out talking about Armageddon, but they're coming out on the left-hand side talking about it. Like, they use the same words and they twist it. They spin it. They take half truths and they spin it and they spin it and they spin it.
He was mad poetic with that. He spin it. He was mad.
That's what you devils do. You take the scriptures and half truths, you try to spin it. How you gonna talk about Armageddon but say America's gonna rise? So they're gonna be the victors of it. Like, then who's Babylon the Great?
Exactly.
Is Iran? Well, Amalek said, the 48ers said Iran is Amalek.
Right.
But then he also said the Palestinians are Amalek. Everybody's Amalek besides you. Let me get Tucker Carlson in there. That's Amalek. It's Amalek doctrine. It's Amalek.
Who is Amalek?
Who is Amalek? Let me tell you. Genesis 15. He was trying to break it down. He was about to break it down.
Who can they say Babylon the Great is, though?
They would say it would be the Islamic regime.
So I would ask, how was the world made rich off the Islamic regime? Because it said that all the nations came there.
They're not going to ask that. People are not going to ask that. They're just going to take what they're saying. The only we ask those questions. Only we get into that. All right, let's cross-examine it. So you said Islamic Republic is that? Well, let's cross-examine that. That's what you do in court. When you got a good lawyer, they'll be able to put holes into your doctrine. You can't put holes into this, man. That's the thing. This is the truth. That's why when you go to court, you're supposed to do what? Swear to tell the truth. And the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. You over here swearing to tell lies.
Like, they're in court, but they don't really have a case. Like, they don't really have a case, because you're not the Israelites. You have a case if you were like, oh, we are the Israelites and this, da. You don't have a case. You see? So it's like you already start again on a false pretense in court. So we got a case against you. We brought you. Exactly. It's an OD uphill battle. You're not going to get out of it, man. You're not going to get out of it. It's like the whole jury already knows this thing is a devil. We're just waiting to condemn this motherfucker. It's just a matter of time. It's not about, oh, we just wait for the verdict. The verdict's already set. We're just a matter of time for your ass to get grabbed up and shackled up, as the scripture says in the book of Psalms. Okay, that's what's going to happen to your nobles and your kings, man. We're going to slap them with chains and fetters of iron. And where they're going to go after that, they're going to serve their time for 1,000 years. That's what's going to come. All right? We don't care if you're a Rothschild or a Rockefeller or whoever you think you are, man. When the Lord says it's go time, man. And we're going to do exactly what the Lord says to do, because Yahushua said, if this were my kingdom, my servants will fight. So when the time comes, he's going to give us the power to fight. It's going to be a righteous war. It starts from the heavens, the war in heaven, and it's going to come right down here, man. All right? And what's going to happen, just like how you get dismantled by the angels up there, you're going to see your empire crumble down too. That's why Yahushua said, I beheld Satan fall from heaven like what? Like lightning, man. All right? Quick. All right? Quick strike, and you out of there. All right?
Yeah, quick read. Psalm, Proverbs 21, verse 15. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. So it's going to be a joy. That's how the brother said. We're going to put chains on you. They said this honor have all of his saints. Because you're not going to put chains on yourself. Epstein proved that. Both sides. It proved that no matter, you could get, what he said, Trump was found guilty of 43 federal crimes? Crazy. This nigga got his mugshot and all that. Right. Your president is a literal criminal. Federal criminal. And yet, he did no jail time. He ain't got to pay no money. No, nothing. But because it says that in Zechariah, right? that they hold themselves not guilty.
Yep.
So who is going to actually do the justice? You ain't gonna get it from this earth. You hear it is, BB is an international criminal.
Yep.
Why is he not arrested? If that was anybody else, you'd have been under the jail immediately. But yeah, he could just go around anywhere, fly anywhere, do what, and nobody gets him. He can go up and say that the UN is shit, ain't shit, ICC ain't shit, all these organizations that you created. You created it yourself.
To stop shit like what he's
Doing exactly. So who's going to actually be the ones that bring justice, man? The King of Kings. The King of Righteousness. And the joint heirs with him have been honored. The saints have been honored to be the ones to lock up the bad men.
Right.
To put you devils in captivity, in prison.
That's right.
That's where you belong.
it.
We only doing justice.
That's it.
That's it. It's only just what is right.
That's it.
And the Lord is having the whole world see the actual crimes that you do. So you can't say that we put these charges on you. Like how you try to, get Jake, put a gun there or throw some back into it, plant evidence. We don't gotta plant evidence. The whole world is the court.
He is that.
Tell
Then
him
you're evidence. Your own tongue falls upon you.
Right,
You
tell
go
him
up on the
yourself.
court, you go up on the trial, on the stand, and you say this shit. What do they call it? What's that word when you
Perjury?
is it perjury where you basically no, when you damn, there's a word where you basically say something, self-incrimination. Yeah. Where you self-incriminating, man.
Yep.
Every day you talk, every day you get up there, you are self-incriminating.
Especially Trevor Hexon.
Like, so, yep. That's why you have a thing called what? Plead the fifth.
Yeah.
But you don't plead the fifth. You just you out here spilling shit because of your pride. Because you say in your heart, who can bring me down? I can say all this shit. I can say we're about to attack the energy facilities, knowing that it is an international war crime. Who's going to stop it? Trump even said about his own eye. If we want to just fly from Spain, we can just do that. I can do it. I can just do that.
That's pride, man.
Oh, Cuba, yeah, I'm gonna take Cuba. I'm gonna take it.
It's a nice land.
It's
Beautiful
nice.
land.
It's a beautiful land. The government me not too much. But I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take Cuba. I can do whatever. We can do whatever we want to.
Everybody wants a deal.
They want to make a deal very badly. Trying to make a deal. Trying to make a deal. Talking to. But it's funny because talk about their own tongues that fall upon themselves. You've had these small hot rabbis talk about they weren't the real Israelites for years.
Right.
For years. Like I remember seeing it later. Y'all know they're not the real Jews, right? Like, yeah, we know. They know.
And then you got some of that one rabbi guy. He was like, it was like a famous, popular video on YouTube. He was like young, but he looked like he was kind of doing like a, I don't know if he was doing like a class or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But he broke it down.
Yep.
He broke it down to the T on how they wanted the people.
Yep.
I know
He
what
said,
you're
he
talking
said
about.
America is Edom. He said that. He said that's the new. He said that. He said that Egypt was going to be destroyed. He said that shit. I'm like, you talking about yourself. You know? But that's why the truth, going back to the perfection of the saints, the truth really refines everything. You know, when you got the truth, you don't have to spit it. You don't have to do none of that. You just gotta tell it.
Spinner.
You don't gotta do that. You just gotta tell it, and then the Lord does the work. You know, no matter how long it takes, it's always going to prevail, man. You know,
And that's the beautiful thing about the truth, because as I said, like the seed of a mustard seed, it's small, but when it grows, it's going to be overwhelming, man. Because really, everybody wants truth, right? Nobody wants to say, like, yo, tell me a lie.
Right.
But when you actually hear what the truth is, that's when it's I don't want to do that.
Can't handle the truth.
Yeah, you can't handle the truth. Your feelings get involved. But this truth, it don't matter. It doesn't care about how you feel about it. This is the pure truth from the spirit of truth. So it has no care about how it's said, who is going to offend it. It's not. They're just out here with you. Whatever the truth is, whoever hears it, whoever's aligned with it, they're going to be exempt from the judgment. Whoever isn't, you have to. What did the Lord say? That is going to come upon whoever it comes down upon is going to beat them into powder. Whoever falls upon is going to break. That's how it is.
The truth, metaphorically speaking, the truth is like that force that just can't be stopped. It's like this force just come in and it just can't be stopped. And the lies is just, Trump, Hex have lies, or something that's standing there that the truth is just coming over. It's going to run it over because you can't stop the truth. You can't stop the truth. You can't handle the truth. Like people really can't handle the truth because like you telling people the truth. Like that one of the dudes, the fucking smart said. He said, yeah, we put human flesh in McDonald's meat and such and such. He said that we could say it, but people still gonna eat it.
Right, because they don't believe it.
They don't believe it because like, why would somebody do that? Like he's just joking. But the truth is kind of ugly because you know we have a thing called the ugly truth, and the truth is ugly, but only for ones that it affects in a negative way. The truth is not ugly for us because we're the Israelites and Lord willing part of the elect. But the truth is going to affect the wicked, the unbeliever, the 2/3, the heathen, because it's not for their benefit. Just like y'all truth wasn't for our benefit. Y'all coming up, y'all set up America, Rome, Greece. That wasn't to the Israelites' benefit. But like the Lord said, your short season is over. Now it's over for you. It's over, dog. You can't get that time back. You can't. And yo, hey, man, sucks to be you now. It used to suck to be a nigga, right? Remember, it used to suck. Damn, man, you minorities and you yes. But now, look, the Lord set up the prophets. Now it's like it's kind of different. That narrative has changed.
The punishment of our iniquity is
That's a
accomplished.
fact.
Yep.
Now the Lord is discovering your sins.
That's right.
You're gonna make it's
Surely
just
just a
fair.
cut. It's fair. It's righteous.
What we saw about in Hancock. You had a good run, Hancock.
Had a good run, man. That's done. And it's funny because like when you really look at it, America really is done. Because like when you look at like, it can't come back from. It's not gonna go back to what it once was. Like the point we're at now is like, yo, it can only just be knocked the fuck over. It's like a boxer, like a boxer just getting body shots, then that knockout coming. You just all like, oh shit, and we're spinning it, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause like it's shot, it's just shots y'all taking. Every day it's like, yo, Trump looking stupid, Hex looking stupid, that other blonde bitch looking stupid. The whole Trump administration is looking stupid to the Americans and then to the world. That's why the Lord said you're gonna be a laughing stock. Now the magnifying glass is on you, and now you're lying. You attacked Iran because of Israel, and now Russia, China, everybody about to get involved on your ass, man.
And what is he going to do? He's going to attack the saints.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
just like
persecution.
during Rome, during Nero with the burning of the Rome.
Yeah, that's coming
He's
too.
going to blame it on the saints. He's going to blame it on Jake.
Yep.
But the problem is, there's a part of Jake that is sanctified.
That's right. You can't touch.
That's where you're gonna run into a major issue. Because the Lord gonna give up the wicked for a ransom for the righteous, but you gonna say, nah, I want all of them.
Right.
I want them niggas especially.
Right.
Then that's when the Lord like, oh hey, you got too much dip on your chip.
Get a little carried away, boy. Get a little carried away.
These are my clusters.
This is my good stuff.
Those you can't touch.
Those you can't touch.
That's the scripture say though. It said we gonna touch touch my.
Touch not my anointing to do my prophets no harm.
You guys a precept to tie in with what you said, because that's what happened during the Greek captivity. Daniel 11:30, for the ships of Kittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved, which is talking about Antiochus going into Rome, going into Egypt, and he was stopped by basically the commander of the ships of Rome, which was Gaius Popilius Laenas. I might get his name wrong. Basically, Antiochus was stopped there. He was grieved, right? Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the Holy Covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the Holy Covenant. So this is Esau's MO. Going back to that time, Antiochus, when he wasn't winning in different military exploits, he went and took it out on the saints. So he said he went back to go against those that have the Holy Covenant. Who has the Holy Covenant? Israel. So, when he's going against the Persians, but they have an actual army, they got missiles, you losing against them, then you're going to come and take it out on Jake, because we don't got no army. You little niggas in the hood might have a little pea shooter, you might have a little AK or whatever you think. That shit ain't going to do nothing. Because Esau, he's losing against the Persians. He's saying, all right, I'm going to go take it out against Jake. I'm going to go back stateside and take it out against you niggas, because you don't got a military. You don't got an air force to really fight me. Because he likes to pick on, those that are weaker. That's what he does.
But then what he didn't realize is that the Lord, the power that you can't see, is gonna protect the ones that is reserved to be protected from your bullshit, man. That's what he ain't count. Yeah, you gonna get a couple niggas, but like at the end of the day, you're not gonna get the prophets that's preaching how about Shem Yahushua, sincerity and truth, man. You're not, because the Lord said, what? Those that prophesy in my name shall be protected in that day, man. And that day is approaching. Like that whole like persecution, like that's a real thing, and that hasn't happened yet. It's going to take place to where like, yo, they're going to come, might come to brother's crib, might go to brother's job, they might go to brother's woman or whatever, some kind of family member, whoever, close friend, they're going to do that. They did it. They did a little bit with that thing that happened in was that Jersey City or Linden a couple years ago. But
precept. This is Second Maccabees is going into Esau's pride, man. You know, again tying it in with Antiochus. All right, Second Maccabees 9 and 12. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words: "It is meet to be subject unto the Most High, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God."
Yeah, you shouldn't think of yourself as a god, man. But that's exactly the mindset that the Lord has you in. That's the crazy part. That goes to show you how much the Lord hates you, because He puts you in a mindset that He doesn't want you to be. That's the second time I've seen a small flying plane, which is a private plane. So it kind of look like drones when you quickly look at it.
Yeah. Getting out of Dodge.
But hey, soon enough we're gonna have some drones flying around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about like those kamikaze.
Oh yeah.
But hey, that's the time we're in, because this devil's going to have to, we always talk about it, use an event to basically make the narrative, make everybody get on his side. Because people are not with this war. I just seen something, even in the land of Israel, you got those 48ers protesting against the war right now.
Yeah.
I just seen it, they showed a little video of it. They were there protesting against it. Because guess what? Like the dream I had, they trying to live regular lives. But yet, they every 5-10 minutes they're hearing sirens and they gotta go run to a shelter. They don't know where it's going to hit. Where is this ballistic missile going to land?
They're saying the shelter's longer too.
That's a psychological mind fuck right there. Like you trying to live regularly, but every 5, 10, 20 minutes you hearing sirens go off, and you gotta run to a underground shelter. They showed you that one video with an old 70-year-old lady. She was in her house, and they were showing like the video from inside her house, and it hit, and then you just see like the flash gets hit, BAM! Like blew the door open, everything just flew. She's like, but yo, that's how they're living over there right now. And the thing is, Americans, because of that version-ness, they think that cannot happen here.
Yep.
But you gonna have another thing coming, man. The Lord said, "In that security, thou shalt be destroyed."
We're going to great ocean.
It is because Salakia.
No.
It is because of what? The mindset of you thinking that you're like our brother Rick, that you think that you're a god. You think you're invincible. You think that you cannot be touched. And as it says in Isaiah 47, that in the moment, these two things are gonna come upon you.
Yep.
You already had the loss of children with those, your people, them sending military over there, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they gonna get the draft eventually. That's what's gonna happen. I seen this one thing. The lady said that they're lying to you, saying they're only sending 25 to 3,000. They said it's about tens of thousands of troops that's being sent over. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is about to happen? Because they can't do shit.
Which is 2,000, 3,000.
If it's 2/3 the size of Europe, what are these 3,000 troops gonna do?
Shit.
They said that even going to Karg Island, if with that many troops is going to just be they're gonna get decimated as soon as they land.
But wait a second, hold it. They said, Iran said that they have 1 million soldiers mobilized for a ground invasion against the U.S. They said that, when y'all get here, we're going to set y'all on fire.
Who y'all think y'all get in?
No.
1 million. But and they said that number is growing because they're getting younger people are joining the IRGC or whatever the Iranian military is to join. And they said they're doing it with enthusiasm. I read that article last week. They're doing that with enthusiasm. Like, we ready. That means that's how much they hate America. And remember, that shit it's going down, but it's going to go down even worse. And to the brother's point about the shelter shit with the small ads, you got to think about when that shit started with Gaza and all that, they would go to the shelters and come right back out. But they saying now with the Iranian war, they staying in shelters longer.
And that's why they're protesting. Because their lives are being disrupted. Like, yo, this is your life now.
Yep.
And this may, Lord willing, and no ceasefire, this may be just your life until the day of the Lord.
Right. Well, we're evident from generation to generation. This your last generation.
You may just, this is how you just go out to live.
Yeah. Then it keeps getting worse.
And it gets worse. And I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, yo, we haven't even seen the or like we haven't seen any badness yet.
Yeah.
No
It's really just at the
crazy
beginning of it.
Yeah.
Right.
The energy crisis, you had the European Energy Commissioner. They said that they're preparing for a fuel rationing.
Yup.
These South Asia's already, Asian countries are already doing it.
Airlines about running out of fuel.
Airlines, they stopping. I think all flights to in and out of London is canceled. London is popular. So like now you can't get going to London. A man should desire to go in the city.
It's getting nicer out too, so I mean it's gonna be.
And when when an escalation happens, you got to live with that. And then wait, because they can't fix it, and then another one hits. So it's like now you're dealing with an energy crisis, and then something else makes it worse. Now you got to keep living with that until the next thing that makes it worse.
And it never de-escalates.
Yeah, you're getting in sorrows.
Yep, Harvey crisis. Second Ezra 16, verse 36, it says, 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. See? So we are commanded to hear these words, man. And not only just hear them, but also profess them. Right? And it's only going to be those that sincerely and truly are the sheep of the Lord. As the Lord said, my sheep hear my voice, and they're going to understand it. And when you understand what time it is, you understand the visitation, what the Lord is doing, it's going to put you in a mindset. It's going to put you in a mind frame to where you're not going to be entangled with this world. Yeah, we still got to be in it, but we're really just waiting for this thing just to collapse.
Right here.
And everybody is saying that it's teetering. It's right there. So like at any moment, something can happen where it's just like boom, it's over. Because it was a day for them, February 28th for the Amalekites, where it was just a day which to them was like it's over. So how much more when it hits Babylon?
Right.
It's so crazy. I just want to add one quick point. It's like, yo, the saying that we've been hearing a lot is if you miss a day, you miss a lot. It's like the point where you miss an hour, you miss a lot. The shit is coming out. Like you see, as we doing camp, breaking news is coming out. Like from an hour ago, the situation changed from till now. That's how crazy and fast the Lord is moving, man. So that's why we gotta praise you. How about you now, Charles? It's happening, man.
And that's why the Lord said what? To watch. Right. That you always have to watch, man. You can't stop watching because the Lord's not stopping. He's not stopping to work. So at any moment, something could be going on. Right. When we go to sleep, there's news. When we wake up, there's news. You go in the shower, bring my phone like up. News like
You wake up first thing, you see bad, oh shit.
Yep.
Throughout the day, just update. Mad.
And it's all things that we've been praying for.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about it, man. That's how you know the Lord is hearing it, man.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's everything that we've been praying for. So that's why the Lord Yahweh said, he gave that parable to this end that men should always pray and never faint.
Right.
Because like how if the wicked judge was basically made a move because the widow was kept complaining, how much more of Yahweh, man? That here's the cries. It says what? That here's the cries of his elect day and night, though he bear along with them. So what is it, Isaiah 62? Give him no rest. You got to continuously do it. Because we can clearly see this, that Lord, he's ready to act. When you read in the scriptures, you have times where, in the Psalms where it says, awake thou Lord, right? It's not as if he's really sleeping, but like basically, be active, do something on the earth. Make the moves visible on the earth. Make it felt, right? We're seeing that right now. Yep.
Hold my tongue back no more. This is the earth which you have made.
Verse 37, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth pains. So like if 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and the sorrows shall come upon it on every side. So, what is happening right now? The plagues are not slacking, man. You just seen, even with the pestilence, we're talking about a new variant of the vid that is mad contagious. So now when you have certain things happen on the earth, where this the water power plant, you affect the water, that can cause diseases. So there's going to be actual pestilences, right? The earthquakes, the wars, that's a plague. The destruction. All of these things are plagues that are not slacking. The inflation, the cost of food, the famines, all of these things are plagues that the Lord said are not slacking a moment. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. See, the evils, bad times are here, man. And they're here to stay until the King of Peace comes.
That's right.
So in those evils, there's a mindset to be in. It's not to be like the majority of people who are just willfully ignorant. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see that. They're like the little monkeys, right?
See no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah. That's not going to stop the evils from coming.
Word.
It tells you that in the Wisdom of Solomon, where when the Lord was plaguing it, that the sight was so scary that they tried to close their eyes. But the things that they heard basically made them try to look. Because so it's like, you're like, oh, do you hear shit? Like, either way, because you close your eyes and you hear things, now you imagine it. Like, you're imagining shit, man. And that's a crazy plague. And everything's just dark. That's what the Lord is doing. And He's going to bring those plagues and even worse upon this place, man. Because back in Egypt, we was talking about it, you ain't have people that were drug addicts.
Right.
You ain't have people that, were psychos that needed shit to keep them stable.
Life support in hospitals and shit.
So imagine you in that situation and then a nigga don't got his methadone. And you watch the TV show Euphoria, I just seen a little clip of it. And how she got when her mom hit her pills. Started breaking through the door, and she was skinny.
Yep.
You know how they acted like? Them little crackheads, they act like in the movie Kingsman, when they had a little the
when they killing babies? Yeah.
That's how people gonna be acting like, man.
Exactly like that. Trigger. Very good point.
That's why the scripture says you should have a pity upon their neighbor. Those are the spirits that the Lord said are created for vengeance, and in their time is going to pour out these sword strokes, man. And people are not ready for that. You think all of that, the Skid Row or the homeless, all these people, those are just people that they act like are not around. Right. They don't exist. We don't see them. Okay.
We're keeping them alive still.
Yep. When shit hits the fan, when all of the guardrails of society collapse, those are the things that you're gonna have to deal with.
And they know how to live.
And you women, what are you gonna do in that time? That's why it says, man, women in that moment, in that day, it said what in Isaiah 32, that gird up sackcloth, for the vengeance is gonna fail. It's gonna be all out chaos, man. Chaos. And the humility of a woman gonna come like that. Because if you are a woman that have pride in that day, you're not gonna make it past the day. You're not gonna make it 24 hours.
You're probably gonna die.
Your best power is gonna be humility. Trying to be soft. You better use your damsel in distress to your teeth, man. Make a nigga feel bad.
Yeah, word.
Because if he ain't gonna feel bad, then he gonna just still take it.
Oh yeah.
And he gonna be even more mad that you resisted.
It's the easy way to do this the hard way.
Yeah, that's it. There's gonna be a lot of fleeces out here.
Yeah, that dude's crazy.
Yep. But I mean, that's all I got. Hey, the beautiful camp, Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting into the elect. In closing, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash.
And until next time, shalom to the elect.
Shalom.
Where the anybody know? Oh, here it is.
Oh, just sitting at 144.